Untouched since 1893, held only a smaller safe, which upon opening was found to be empty. Despite the lack of contents, the discovery was still notable for the safe's heritage, linked to the Mosler Safe Company. King County inviting residents to explore a world of geographic information systems during an open house on November 20th at the Government Center from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. Attendees can dive into how GIS technology shapes various county operations. With your 1410 WRMN News Flash, I'm Sean Crudan.
If fashion is your thing, eBay is it. eBay's where I find all my favorites, from handbags to iconic streetwear, all authenticated. For real. This time, a little Supreme, some Gucci. I even have that vintage Prada on my watch list. That's why eBay's my go-to for all my go-tos. Yeah, eBay, the place for new, pre-loved, vintage, and rare fashion. eBay, things people love.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds, which could be life-changing. I mean, you could put that money towards that zero-turn lawnmower you've always wanted. And after using its edge-shaping technology to meticulously sculpt the face of the Mona Lisa into your grass, you'll become the undisputed king of Saturday morning lawn care, leaving your neighbor and sworn enemy Gary to question his place in the delicate neighborhood ecosystem. And it's all because you could save money switching at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states.
Let me tell you a story about Bill. Bill was a normal guy in his 50s. He had back surgery about 2 years ago. Bill was in a lot of pain. He dealt with his pain by taking the Percocets his doctor prescribed for him. Bill took more and more and more of them to help with the pain, until one day the prescriptions weren't enough to get rid of Bill's pain. Then one day, Bill found someone to help him get rid of the pain with illegal drugs he didn't need a prescription for. Fast forward to today. Bill lost his job and his family. The only thing he does have is his drug dealer. If you know Bill's story and you don't want to end up like Bill, call the Detox and Treatment Helpline right now to get away and get treatment.
800-694-1127. 800-694-1127. 800-694-1127. Call right now. Help is standing by. 800-694-1127.
This is WRMN News.
I'm Marky B reporting. Tuesday at 1:46 in the afternoon, Elgin police responded to the 400 block of Douglas Avenue for a reported shooting. Officers arrived on the scene and located an adult male with a gunshot wound who was subsequently transported to a local hospital. Detectives from the Major Investigations Division investigated the incident. Soon after, there was a large police presence at a residence in the 300 block of Silver Street. The 300 block of Silver Street was secured, and as part of the investigation, a person of interest was taken into custody. The Elgin Police Department says they will continue to provide updates as more information becomes available on their Facebook page. And we'll have an update on Fridays with the Finest during the first shift, Friday morning at 9 a.m. with Elgin Police Chief Anna Lally. A 19-year-old man is facing multiple traffic-related charges in 2 jurisdictions after police say he fled officers in Prospect Heights and crashed into a semi-trailer truck in Arlington Heights Tuesday morning. Prospect Heights police say an officer tried to stop a gray Lexus sedan driving nearly twice the posted 30-mile-an-hour speed limit on westbound Willow Road about 10:30 a.m. The officer made a U-turn in order to pull over the Lexus, but the driver sped away north on Rand Road. The Prospect Heights officer called off the pursuit and notified dispatchers the vehicle was heading into Arlington Heights. About 2 minutes later, Arlington Heights police were called to a crash involving a gray Lexus that had driven under a semi-trailer truck near the intersection of Palatine and Rand Roads. WRMN News has learned that when someone tries to drive under a semi-truck, the outcome doesn't usually work in their favor.
WRMN News, produced in Studio 14 by the River Media Network.
Everyone has a community to lean on. A neighborhood, school, kids' teams, where you worship, work out, or any other place or group where you choose to belong. Communities can provide support when you need it, and even when you don't know you do. Like when it comes to preventing underage drinking and other substance use. You've talked with your kids and shared clear expectations, but you're not with them every minute. Your community members, friends and relatives, teachers and coaches, faith leaders, and other important adults in your kids' lives can be your eyes, ears, and a supportive influence when you're not around, reinforcing your messages with your kids and alerting you to warning signs of underage drinking or other substance use. So talk with your kids about these issues and involve the members of your community to help keep your kids safe. Because when you talk, they hear you.
There are some things you can't cover up with lipstick and powder. Thought I heard you mention my name. Can't you talk any louder? Don't come any closer. Don't come any nearer. My vision of you can't come any clearer. Oh, I just wanna hear girls talk. Got a loaded imagination being fired by girls talk.
Welcome in. You're listening to a little bit of Girl Talk right here on Talk Time with Tammy and Friends. I'm your host, Tammy Scully. I've got Mary Corbett here with me in Nashville, Tennessee. Welcome in, everybody. It is Fox Valley Afternoons. And we are going to start out with a little talk time with Tammy and Friends, and then we're going to do a little apolitical talk show coming your way. So stick around with us for a fun-filled afternoon. Let's see what's happening, Mare. What's going on? Mare's been with me down here in Nashville
I love it.
all week. It's actually lovely. It's raining right now, though. So
We got a little bit of rain, but otherwise great time, great people, great places. Get to see Tammy's middle son and his wife and her little grandbaby. Adorable.
he's a cutie. He's
So
a cutie.
cute.
Yep. So it's all good down here in Nashville. It's weather's doing, it's doing a number on us today. It's it's one of those rainy days down here that you just want to just
Curl up. And
curl up with the dog on the couch, which we've already done today. So
I did that earlier. It was I call her dog the tranquilizer because she truly is like just calming. And I was like, I'm so comfortable.
He's a real little golden doodle. So when she lays, she's 12 pounds. And when she lays on your lap, it's just like, it's kind of like having a cat on your lap. You can't get up when you got a cat on your lap, right? You got to just,
Yep.
you got to
go with it.
You got to go deal with it. So let's see what kind of interesting news. I got some interesting news I found. Marky B sends out some interesting stuff every now and then. And we have this one in the hopper. I don't know if he talked about it, but we're going to talk about it. It's Lake in the Hills Police. They are seeking a man accused of adding isopropyl alcohol into someone's closed beverage bottle, knowing they were going to drink it. A search warrant was issued Friday for the arrest of Lazaro Duran, 64, of the 100 block of Del Rio Road in Carpentersville. He is charged with attempted aggravated battery by causing ingestion of a toxic substance and attempted aggravated battery causing great bodily harm. Each a Class 3 felony, according to the criminal complaint filed in the McHenry County Court. Police said that at 12:30 p.m. August 14th, Duran, knowingly and without justification, attempted to cause great bodily harm, quote, when he added, quote, isopropyl alcohol to a closed bottle beverage, knowing a man would, quote, be consuming, end quote, the drink, and then attempted to get the man to drink it. The complaint said. Isopropyl alcohol, also called rubbing alcohol, is poisonous and should never be ingested, according to National Capital Poison Center. Conviction of on a Class 3 felony was has a sentencing range from probation to 5 years in prison, but as of Monday afternoon, Lazaro was not yet in custody at the county jail. So what an odd thing to try and do.
Right?
Like, why would you try and get somebody to drink? Now, I've heard of people doing that, like when they are an alcoholic and they don't have access to liquor, and so
Yes,
they
I've heard that.
may try and drink alcohol or shaving or aftershave or anything
To
that's
try and
got,
get
yeah,
that high.
anything that's got alcohol in it, they might try and get it. But why would you put it in somebody else's? Like, that doesn't make any sense.
That's so nefarious.
Nefarious.
Yes. I like that
That's
word.
a big word.
I do. I like it. Nefarious. That's like bad.
Bad.
Suspicious.
Bad.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. They better find that guy and they better like check out what is in his brain because he's not right.
No.
He is not right.
I don't think so. I mean, I think that's wacky. That's a wacky thing to do. Bad boy. What's his name again? Hold on. Don't tell me. I got it. His name was, in McHenry Court, his name was Lazaro Duran. Bad Lazaro. He should not. He's 64 years old. You should know better.
Come on.
Yeah, I know. Okay. But on to more fun news. Metra. Tickets for the Metra's popular holiday trains go on sale at noon on Monday on 6 different lines. These decorated trains feature Santa and Mrs. Claus, Frosty and the Grinch, and treats for young passengers. I don't know if we have any pictures of it, but if you're watching on YouTube, by the way, you can, there it is.
That.
Holiday train. Yeah, if you're watching it on YouTube, you can see a picture of it. It's up there on the screen. If you'd like to watch on YouTube, by the way, you can certainly do that. All you have to do is go to YouTube and at WRMN Radio, and there we are. Matt will let us know. Matt's our producer today. He'll let us know if there's any comments on the side, but feel free to comment. And Matt will pass those along to us because we, the way we're set up, we can't see that right now. But feel free to do that. Or we have that Image 360 text line. If you'd like to text us to 505-926-1410, well, you can certainly do that at any point during the day. And we'll get your text for sure. All right, let's go back to our holiday train. What a cute little train. The special service is offered on Saturdays from November 30th through December 21st. And it's on the BSNF let me try that again. Metra Electric Milwaukee District North, Rock Island, and Union Pacific North and Northwest line. So it's on, I thought I just read like 5 lines here somehow.
That's nice.
It is. It's pretty cool. Trips will run the following days. So November 30th, the Metra Electric. December 7th is the BNSF line. December 14th is the Milwaukee District North, which I think is the one that goes to Elgin, isn't it? And then Rock Island and UP Northwest is also December 14th. And then December 21st is the Metra Electric and UP North. I think
the Big Timber is Elgin.
The Big Timber, but I think that's Milwaukee. I think that's the Milwaukee line. I'm not sure. Okay.
It goes to Elgin.
It does. The Northwest, the Milwaukee District North. Yeah.
Yep.
Passengers can ride the train back to their starting point or enjoy downtown Chicago and use their ticket to return home later that day. Trains only stop at designated stations. Let's see. The Metra Electric Line riders will be available to visit the North Pole. They're going to the North Pole at Millennium Station, featuring games, face painting, refreshments, and holiday music. Other downtown stations will be decorated as well. The tickets cost $5 and are expected to sell quickly. So to order, you can go to shop.metra.com/password. I don't know why password, but that's what's there. More information is available at metra.com/holiday trains. So check that out.
It's very affordable.
It is $5 for a fun little ride. Gosh, if you're a kid and you love trains, your eyes will pop out of your head at this, right?
It's amazing.
And you definitely want to do it during when it gets dark. So do it like, 4:35. Take that. And either you can take it one way or the other. It says you can either take it into the city or you take it out of the city. Whichever one you want. Order your tickets there and go have a little fun downtown. Then go down to the wall. Take it down to the city. Go down to the Walnut Room.
Yep.
I know, but getting reservations at the Walnut Room.
State Street, the Great Street, with all the decorations, and you can come back.
They have a really hard time. I think Walnut Room's probably booked up until after Christmas now,
Probably.
Yeah. Anyway, but a fun little option for you because ho ho ho, it is the season. I know there's a couple of trains of thoughts on this, no pun intended. Okay, every pun intended on that one. About like once Halloween is over, are we into Christmas? Is it now the holiday season, or I'm under the theory that it's now we're now going for Thanksgiving. It's not
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's the holidays, but it's not I mean, it's part of it's all the holidays, Thanksgiving and Christmas together. But there's a theory that it's all like the Christmas holiday and Thanksgiving is one day in that. Where I don't know. I want to say the Christmas season doesn't start until after Thanksgiving. Like I'm not putting lights up. I'm not putting a tree up until after Thanksgiving.
Exactly.
Now you might do that, and someday I might do that. But right now I'm saying no.
Let's enjoy Thanksgiving.
You know, and a lot of it in Chicago has to do with the weather. And if it's nice outside, you want to get the decorations up before it gets yucky outside.
Maybe you just don't turn them on, Tammy. Maybe
there's
you send Liam up.
They've been up since last year. You mean
okay, well, there you go. Oh my gosh, you're already like
no, I'm not.
You're
mine
on
are
a ball.
No, mine are not up. No, I'm just kidding. But if I mean, never take them down. I don't know. No, you got to take them down. That's a big fat no. You got to take the decorations down.
For sure.
But when do you want to put them up is the question. I'm day after Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Especially because we host Thanksgiving and I've got all these people over, and then you don't want to have all your Christmas stuff up when they're coming over for Thanksgiving. You want to do Thanksgiving stuff. So that's what we're going to do. But
I agree.
But if you want to grab that train, you got to giddy up on that because they sell out. Let's talk about old people, shall we? There's equal rights for old folks happening here. Yeah. Legislation to eliminate a law requiring Illinoisans age 79 and older to take the annual road test to renew their driver's license fizzled out last spring. But many seniors haven't forgotten, nor the fact that Illinois is the only U.S. state with an age-based mandate. Is that right? Republican State Representative Jeff Keecher, I'm going to call him Keecher, of Sycamore introduced a bill to end the age-triggered tests early this year after hearing complaints from constituents, many from Huntley's Sun City's active adult community.
Oh,
Yeah.
Are they feeling discriminated against?
Are they feeling discriminate? Yes, I guess so. The legislation passed a committee vote by, Legislation passed a committee vote, but it was shelved in May. Despite gaining 48 bipartisan co-sponsors, only a few top Democratic leaders signed off. He encouraged voters who support the change to contact their local representative or senator. GOP State Senator Don DeWitt of St. Charles has proposed a companion bill. Illinois mandates drivers age 79 and 80 take a road exam if their 4-year license renewal is up. For drivers age 81 to 86, it's every 2 years. And for those 87 and older, it's yearly. Multiple seniors argue the policy is age discrimination and say older drivers typically avoid risks like speeding and going out at night or in inclement weather. We can't see at night, okay? So we're not out there at night. We can't see. Supporters say it's a safety measure that identifies at-risk drivers whose cognitive abilities could be declining. I think it's more about the cognitive abilities, isn't it? So I don't know. What do you think? You don't have that in Arizona, clearly. Illinois.
I don't think we don't, but I don't think it's a bad idea. I don't think it's discriminatory in terms of age. I feel like, it's more of a safety issue.
Right.
I really don't think, I mean, you can run for president if you're 79 and there's no issue, but yeah.
Well, I don't know. So
I feel like that is.
I'm kind of mixed because I got T-boned. I got hit by an older driver who didn't see me. I was going straight down Gulf Road and they were cutting across Gulf Road and they T-boned me and totaled Taylor's car. The car was
Yeah.
and yeah, it was like, holy moly. Like, and he left the scene of the accident. He was totally confused.
Remember that.
Then he turned and he had to come back because his bumper fell off with his license plate on the front of the car. So he had to come back. But the police officer said, I am going to make sure this guy takes that exam because I don't think he should be on the road.
Well, I
So-
think that's the key right there. And if you are really, because there's some people that are just very nimble and they're very,
Yeah.
good, there should be no issue to have to
Right.
take it then.
Right. Well, I mean, if you can take it, if you pass it, you pass it. It's good.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It sounds like it didn't pass. Right.
Well, I would support that. So,
You would support having it?
yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I will move back to Illinois.
They're trying to get rid of it. So they think it's age discrimination, or they're saying it's age discrimination. So,
Okay.
and Illinois is the only one who does it. I'm a little surprised about
Yeah,
that.
I'm surprised about that too.
Especially communities like
like Florida.
Arizona and Florida that have a lot of retired folks in it. You never know. Never know.
Yeah, I know my husband always laughs. He's like, oh boy, the drivers, you can tell when the snowbirds are back because they're like, going from the left lane to the right lane without even a blinker. No,
We are the snowbirds
without
in
a care. I
Chicago.
know.
So
Without a care in the world. So
we are the snowbirds that take it that bug you guys in Arizona and Florida and
it's all
everywhere.
good.
No, yeah, a lot of Canadians come down too.
They do.
Yeah,
They
mhm,
do.
for sure. Then we have another. You got a wacky story about?
I do.
Wait till you hear this one. This one's good and wacky.
This is crazy. So, a man was found dead inside a Planet Fitness tanning bed, and it was 3 days after he went missing that they found him.
Oh my God! Read the story.
So Derek Sink, 39, was discovered inside the machine at a Planet Fitness in Indianapolis, Indiana on Monday at 9 a.m. The family had told investigators they've been trying to track him down for several days, and they were able to find him. Unfortunately, he was deceased.
Oh my goodness!
And it looks like, so he had struggled with drugs in the past, and they were able to, not able to, they found a needle in the tanning bed. So I feel like
Oh.
it was obviously something. But then there's another person who was found
Wait,
dead.
where was his tanning bed at?
Indianapolis, Indiana,
And he was dead in there for 3 days?
for 3 days.
And nobody knew he would. So clearly, there's not a lot of tanners in Indianapolis.
Apparently not. And
Is this at Crunch or no? Where'd you say this was?
this was in Indianapolis at Planet Fitness.
Planet Fitness. Planet
Yeah.
Fitness. Okay. Well,
So-
they're not using the tanning bed in Indianapolis at
Nope.
Planet Fitness.
Nope.
I wouldn't use it anymore, by the way.
And how they found him, which was, this will tell you a little bit, he had an ankle monitor on. So
Oh.
obviously he's on some sort of probation of some sort.
Yeah.
And they were able to track him down. And they put a sign on the door saying on Monday, saying tanning is currently unavailable. So you can't tan at Planet
Sorry, dead guy in the tanning bed. So
Yeah.
sorry. Wow.
Mm-hmm. Then
That-
there was another one.
Wait, more than one?
Yes.
When
yes.
was the second one?
The second one was in New Jersey, in Hamilton, New Jersey, to be exact,
At a tanning bed?
at a tanning bed at Crunch Gym.
What?
This gentleman, Nicholas Rigolani, 27, was found dead
Oh my God.
at the gym in Hamilton, New Jersey, in the tanning bed. They found him inside the tanning bed on Monday. So, no foul play is suspected, and an autopsy is being performed.
Yeah.
But that's so random. 2 different deaths
In a
inside.
have you ever heard of anybody dying in a tanning bed? Or
Never.
finding a dead body? Can you
No.
imagine if you're the little minimum wage worker there and you like go to wipe down the bed and there's,
And
a
there's a
dead
body.
guy?
Then you're like, sir,
Yeah, no.
it's time to get out of the bed.
I'm damaged for life if that's
Yeah.
me for
Yeah.
crying.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
no.
Pretty nutty.
So the guy in Indiana didn't have any needles or issues. Like there was nothing hanging off of him when.
Well, the guy in Indiana.
I don't mean Indiana.
did.
I mean
yeah, the guy in New Jersey,
the second one.
27 years old.
Yeah.
They suspect no foul play, but they are doing an autopsy to see what caused a 27-year-old tanner to die in the tanning bed.
Oh my God, that's insane.
Yeah.
What? Well, now, have you ever been to a tanning bed?
Oh my gosh, I haven't gone to a tanning bed in decades. But at the time, that was a big thing back in the day for me. You're like in the tanning bed. Now it's, spray tan.
Well, so they used to, say, you could do it. Like, I would go, if I had to go to like an event, like the Grammys or one of those things, I would go to a tanning bed. This was years ago, 10 years ago, at least, more than that. And then all of a sudden it came out like tanning bed, no, big no. So then I switched to the spray tans and didn't do the tanning bed. Now there are people who still do the tanning beds. Not me, but.
Well, I remember you showing up to $1 Million Awards, Tammy.
Yes.
You looked fabulous. I'm like, oh my God, you look great. And you're like, yep. Fat looks better tan than not.
Yeah, right?
And I'm like, yeah, where's the fat in your little finger?
Right.
Whatever.
Oh, but fat always looks nicer tan than not.
Agreed.
Sorry.
Agreed.
Yeah, you can follow me on that one. That's a good one. No, that's just a fact. So no, I don't know if people even use the tanning beds anymore, but I'm sure they do. I'm sure somebody does. Just be careful. Don't find yourself dead guys in there. I want to check for dead guys. I don't know, you've never heard more than one. Now you've got 2 stories of it. So
yeah, and it was like back to back. I was like, whoa, is this a trend? What's going on?
Crazy.
What is going on?
Crazy. Hey, we got a little time. I want to do a couple did you knows. You ready? Okay. Hey, you might want to, Matt, wake up Chaz under the table. You might want to double check a couple of these.
Oh boy.
Oh boy, here we go. You ready? Rabbits, did you know? Rabbits like licorice.
They do. Interesting.
Isn't that wacky? Why would a rabbit eat licorice? I don't know.
So jelly beans, do they only at Easter eat the black ones?
The black ones? Well, the Easter bunny only likes black licorice. No, I don't think that's true at all. But rabbits like licorice. You want to see what Chaz has to say about that?
I'm looking for Chad.
Oh, you got to get Chad up. You got to wake him up. All right. He's around there somewhere. Well, you let me know when you get him. I'm going to keep looking at other ones. The Hawaiian alphabet. Now, this is fascinating to me because it has 13 letters.
Really?
That's it. And they use those 13 letters to spell, and all their words all sound the same. With double vowels all the time and stuff like that. Well, that's why they have 13 letters. You got it? Oh, let's see. What does Chad have to say about rabbits liking licorice?
Oh, I'm just saying I found Chad. I got to ask him first, though. Sorry.
All right. You now wake him up and ask him if he'd like to see if rabbits like licorice. Let's see.
Did you know that the Windy City nickname had nothing to do with Chicago's weather?
No. What's it have to do with?
It actually was coined by journalists who described Chicagoans as windbags and full of hot air.
Is that right?
Yep, that's what it says.
Oh, my goodness.
All right, we got Chad.
Okay,
hey, Chad.
Let's see. Hey, Chad, welcome to the...
Rabbits love licorice. How cute, right? Except, no, they really don't. Licorice is actually toxic to rabbits. So, congratulations on suggesting bunny poison. Licorice contains glycyrrhizin, a compound that can mess up a rabbit's digestive system, cause diarrhea, and even lead to heart problems. You're better off feeding them something they actually love, like hay, leafy greens, or, something that won't kill them.
Oh my gosh.
Because love is apparently your fantasy here.
All right, Chad. So rabbits don't like licorice, and this is a lie, a bold-faced lie, it sounds like. Well, reindeer like bananas. Is that true?
Oh, is it? Chad?
I don't know. I've got reindeer. Did you know that reindeer like bananas? I've never tried to feed a banana to a reindeer. Let's see. It is interesting.
Did you know that the Pope cannot be an organ donor?
I didn't hear that.
Yes, his whole body needs to be intact upon burial because it belongs to the Universal Catholic Church.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
No organ donation.
No
for the
organ.
Pope.
Nobody's getting a holy organ out of him. No holy organs are coming out of the Pope. Okay. Did you know? I'm going to give you a final. Did you know? Because I hear my happy music. That armadillos have 4 babies at a time and are always all the same sex.
Really?
So then, how do you ever get a girl armadillo? Oh, they're all girls or they're all boys.
Yes.
I see. Okay. Well, there you go. If you're looking for baby armadillos. There you have it.
And if you want one of the opposite sex, you got to have at least 8 babies.
Another litter. Yeah, another litter. But they can't.
At least.
Yeah, at least a minimum of. Holy armadillo, Batman. All right, we're going to take a quick break. Do you hear that happy music? That means it's time for a bottom of the hour break. We're going to do that, and we'll be right back after these messages in the news. Don't go anywhere.
This is WRMN News.
I'm Marky B reporting. Tuesday at 1:46 in the afternoon, Elgin police responded to the 400 block of Douglas Avenue for a reported shooting. Officers arrived on the scene and located an adult male with a gunshot wound who was subsequently transported to a local hospital. Detectives from the Major Investigations Division investigated the incident. Soon after, there was a large police presence at a residence in the 300 block of Silver Street. The 300 block of Silver Street was secured, and as part of the investigation, a person of interest was taken into custody. The Elgin Police Department says they will continue to provide updates as more information becomes available on their Facebook page. And we'll have an update on Fridays with the Finest during the first shift, Friday morning at 9 a.m. with Elgin Police Chief Anna Lally. A 19-year-old man is facing multiple traffic-related charges in 2 jurisdictions after police say he fled officers in Prospect Heights and crashed into a semi-trailer truck in Arlington Heights Tuesday morning. Prospect Heights police say an officer tried to stop a gray Lexus sedan driving nearly twice the posted 30-mile-an-hour speed limit on westbound Willow Road about 10:30 a.m. The officer made a U-turn in order to pull over the Lexus, but the driver sped away north on Rand Road. The Prospect Heights officer called off the pursuit and notified dispatchers the vehicle was heading into Arlington Heights. About 2 minutes later, Arlington Heights police were called to a crash involving a gray Lexus that had driven under a semi-trailer truck near the intersection of Palatine and Rand Roads. WRMN News has learned that when someone tries to drive under a semi-truck, the outcome doesn't usually work in their favor.
WRMN News, produced in Studio 14 by the River Media Network.
Let me tell you a story about Bill. Bill was a normal guy in his 50s. He had back surgery about 2 years ago. Bill was in a lot of pain. He dealt with his pain by taking the Percocets his doctor prescribed for him. Bill took more and more and more of them to help with the pain, until one day the prescriptions weren't enough to get rid of Bill's pain. Then one day Bill found someone to help him get rid of the pain with illegal drugs he didn't need a prescription for. Fast forward to today. Bill lost his job and his family. The only thing he does have is his drug dealer. If you know Bill's story and you don't want to end up like Bill, call the Detox and Treatment Helpline right now to get away and get treatment.
800-694-1127. 800-694-1127. 800-694-1127. Call right now. Help is standing by. 800-694-1127.
Everyone has a community to lean on. A neighborhood, school, kids' teams, where you worship, work out, or any other place or group where you choose to belong. Communities can provide support when you need it, and even when you don't know you do. Like when it comes to preventing underage drinking and other substance use. You've talked with your kids and shared clear expectations, but you're not with them every minute. Your community members, friends and relatives, teachers and coaches, faith leaders, and other important adults in your kids' lives can be your eyes, ears, and a supportive influence when you're not around, reinforcing your messages with your kids and alerting you to warning signs of underage drinking or other substance use. So talk with your kids about these issues and involve the members of your community to help keep your kids safe. Because when you talk, they hear you.
But I can't say what you wanna hear. I suppose you're gonna have to play it by ear. I hear there are some things you can't cover up with lipstick and powder. But I heard you mention my
welcome back. You're listening to Talk Time with Tammy and Friends. I'm your host, Tammy Scully. I'm going to be here until 4 o'clock with Miss Mary Corbett right next to me in Nashville, Tennessee. We're broadcasting live from Nashville, Tennessee. We might get little Rebecca to join us at 3 o'clock. We'll have to see what she's up to if she can get here, but she's going to try and be in on there on the fun as well. So welcome back. You've got some good weather happening in those parts down there. Well, it's a little rainy. Is it cloudy and stormy today, Matt, with 51 degrees? Does that sound about right?
That is correct. Yes, overcast skies today pretty much throughout the whole day. We got a little bit of sunshine here and there, just kind of peeping through, but pretty much most of the time it's been mostly cloudy outside.
And 51, not... Could be worse, yeah. Then tonight it's going down to 47 with periods of rain. You got a 100% chance of rainfall tonight for near a half of an inch, if not more. Let's see. What about tomorrow? Friday. Tomorrow's Thursday, girl. Where's my... there it is. Thursday's right there. Tomorrow is going to be a few showers early with overcast skies later in the day, and that high 52 sounds like a repeat of today. And then tomorrow night, considerable cloudiness and a low of 43 degrees. Those winds are just 5 to 10 miles an hour. So that should not be a problem. Friday, if you're still watching the football games, I know the high school playoffs are still hanging around. I think they're still doing them on Friday. They might move to Saturday. But cloudy early on Friday with partial sunshine expected later. And then Friday night lights will see you at 42 degrees and partly cloudy skies early, becoming overcast later on. Saturday, cloudy skies early and becoming partly cloudy later on, and that high is 54. And Saturday night, cloudy and a low of 46 degrees. Now, Sunday, if you're going to go watch the games anywhere, we got a 59 as a high for Sunday with cloudy conditions and a slight chance of rain showers. Sounds like a repeat every day, huh? And then Sunday night, partly cloudy skies and a low near 40 degrees. Monday's going up to 54 degrees. Expect some rain and partly cloudy conditions on Monday night. Down to 49 with rain likely again, 80% chance of rain Monday night. And then Tuesday, 56 for a high, and Tuesday night, 40 for a low. And then Wednesday, it gets cold, kids. Here it comes. Ooh. Hate to break this to you. Wednesday, you've got a high of 43 coming in. Cloudy skies early and a few showers developing later on. And then Wednesday night, your low is 35 with rain continuing, mixing with the S word. Yes, there's snow in the forecast. Wednesday night, rain mixed with snow late. Yuck. So sorry. I'll be back around those parts. I'll be back in town for that one. Not happy about it. And then Thursday night, rain and snow showers in the morning. Yes, snow showers in the morning. Shower or two in the afternoon. Otherwise, mostly cloudy. You got some snow coming your way, kids. Looks like it's mixed with rain, so it should be like mostly slushy stuff. Thursday night will be a low of 29, so now it's going to freeze Thursday night. Considerable cloudiness and 29 degrees that's below freezing, so you know how that works. So hate to be the bearer of bad news, but that is the way it goes. Oh, yes, right. We've gotten away with really, it's November. What is it? What's the date? 13th. And yeah, I mean, we've had a pretty good fall so far. I can't complain, but it sounds like it's going to take a turn for the worst.
Yeah, it's coming. It's coming.
No, the S word. It's coming. Sorry about that. That's the first forecast I have read with the S word in it, by the way.
Bad S word.
Bad S word. Bad S word. I know. What are you going to do? Oh, Mr. Matt, have you been looking around for a News Nation clip? Did you find us anything?
I did find one, yes.
Oh, what you got?
All right. There was an explosion that injured 11 employees of a business in Louisville, Kentucky. News Nation Nick Smith reports.
The explosion was so strong that it not only partially collapsed that building, but it caused the windows of businesses as far as 2 blocks away to completely blow out. This factory makes food coloring and drink coloring, right? So they don't know if it was a part of the chemicals that caused this to actually explode. Tuesday afternoon, the call came in. Residents say they heard a loud boom. Firefighters rescued and evacuated at least 12 people from that building, some sustaining life-threatening injuries.
Everyone working at the plant during the time has been accounted for. Now, at the time this was reported, it did say, quote, 2 people are in critical condition. Updated about 2 hours ago, it said that they were killed.
Oh,
yeah. So,
my goodness. So they don't know what caused the explosion. This is in Louisville, you said, right?
correct, yes.
They don't know what caused the explosion. Something in the factory, and they make
Dye for drinks
food
and
color, food dye. Yeah, interesting. Well, I don't know what alcohol's there. Ooh, there's a picture. If you are on YouTube, you can see a picture of the property that has been rattled. We'll say, yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Big piece of it. So the 2 people they took to the hospital in critical condition, we think, have expired or passed. Right?
Correct, yes.
Yeah, it sounded like, wow. Well, that's a shame, and hopefully they'll figure out, wow, that's even a closer look there. Hopefully they'll figure out what caused that. And these...
No other injuries, that's it right now?
Yeah.
Well, that's enough.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I mean, geez, what could have caused that? Who knows? But somebody's going to be in trouble. Somebody's in trouble down there.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna get in trouble. All right. You know what? It is. We could go. I could look at maybe looking at our music of the day, because today is the 13th. And let me have a look. See here. Let's see if we can find.
Interesting.
I do have our music of the day for today. Let me see if I can find it on my when I queued it up on here, right? And we can talk a little bit about that. Today in music, we're gonna, you know what we're gonna do, because I can't find it right now, so we got to take our quick break. I was gonna try and do it without the break and call it up, but I think we'll take our quick break that's scheduled, and we'll come right back to talk about today in music history right after this. Stick around.
Get ready to run with Dick Pond Athletics in St. Charles, where runners and walkers have found their perfect fit for over 50 years. Whether you're just starting your fitness journey or training for that next big race, we've got everything you need. Since 1969, we've been helping everyone from beginners to world champions solve their foot issues. As America's oldest running and walking shoe store, we carry all the top brands like Hoka, Nike, Brooks, On, Asus, New Balance, and North Face. The gear you trust, the gear that works. But we don't stop at just providing the right gear. Our experienced staff will help you find the perfect fit and teach you how to use it in one of our many free run-walk classes. We're here to keep you moving and healthy with expert advice and personalized service. And don't miss incredible savings in our clearance section, perfect for making your fitness journey even more affordable. Dick Pond Athletics. Let's hit the ground running.
When you need your banker, they should be ready to put you first. At Wintrust, you can have the banking experience you need and the one you deserve. Ready for a change? We've made it even easier. Our new sophisticated online platform makes opening accounts a breeze, but our bankers are always here for you. Open a new Total Access checking account in minutes at wintrust.com/fast. Plus, get $300.
$100 required to open. Requirements to qualify. Must use link to apply.
Member FDIC.
Rise and shine, Fox Valley listeners. It's time to kickstart your day with First Shift with Marky B on WRMN 1410 AM. From 6 to 9 a.m., join the chatter that gets you clued in with the latest buzz around town. Don't just sip on your coffee. Let Marky B brew your morning with the perfect mix of news, views, and moves. Dial us in or live stream at WRMN1410.com and make your mornings a whole lot brighter. WRMN 1410 AM. We're the voice of the Valley, and we're here to talk.
There are some things you can't cover up.
back. You're listening to a little bit of Girl Talk right here on Fox Valley Afternoons on WRMN AM 1410. I'm Tammy Scully with Mary Corbett here, checking out our music of the day. This is the historic what happened in this day in music history. I find it interesting. So
me too.
Yeah, we'll chat about it a little bit. Let's see. On November 13th, 2019, Rod Stewart was featured on the cover of Britain Railway Modular magazine. The singer had put the finishing touches to a 25-year project building a railway city, which was modeled on both New York and Chicago around 1945. The model railway, which spans 1,500 square feet, was housed in the attic of his Los Angeles home. I think I did read something about that back then, 2019. He's a model train guy. Who would have thought Rod Stewart is a model train guy? And then on November 13th in 2016, Leon Russell passed away in Nashville, Tennessee. He was 74 years old. Now, he led Joe Cocker's band Mad Dogs and Englishmen and appeared at George Harrison's 1971 concert for Bangladesh. Many of his songs became hits for others, among them Superstar, written with Bonnie Bramlett, I don't know who she is, for the Carpenters, Delta Lady for Joe Cocker, and This Masquerade for George Benson. More than 100 acts have recorded his song, A Song for You, which Russell said he wrote in 10 minutes. It's a classic song. We're going to play that for you now. This is A Song for You from Leon Russell.
I've been so many places in my life and time. Sung a lot of songs, I made some bad rhymes. Acted out my life in state with 10,000 people watching. But we're alone now, and I'm singing this song for you. And I know your image of me is what I hope to be. I treated you unkindly, can't you see? There's no one more important to me. Darling, can't you please see through me when we're alone? And I'm singing this song for you. You taught me precious secret, the truth withholding nothing. You came out in front and I was hiding. But now I'm so much better if these words don't come together. Listen to the melody, my love is in there hiding. I love you in a place where there's no space and time. I love you for my life, darling, you're a friend of mine. When my life is over, remember when we were together. Oh. We
Yeah, I've heard a bunch of people redo that.
Here's
I think
me.
Joe
I'm like,
Cocker is
wow,
probably the
this has been redone. Tammy's like, yeah, it has. A little faster, but
100 times. Yeah, 100 people have done this song.
wow.
But it's a classic. It's a classic, and he wrote it in 10 minutes. So good for you, dude.
Just came to him.
Way to go. Let's see. What else do we have going on? On November 13th, 1964, Rolling Stones' Brian Jones caught Catchford Farm in Sussex. The author A.A. Milne, M-I-L-N-E, Milne, who wrote Winnie the Pooh, had owned the house. How about that? Let's see. How about them apples? Syd Barrett, on November 13th, 1970, Syd Barrett released his second solo album, Barrett Only, 10 months after its debut, The Madcap Laughs. David Gilmour produced the whole album, which also featured performances by Pink Floyd's Richard Wright on keyboards. The album has since been reissued in remastered form with extra tracks from the session. And then on November 13, 1976, Led Zeppelin scored their 7th UK #1 with the film soundtrack double album, The Song Remains the Same. Peaking at #2 on the US chart, the tracks were recorded at Madison Square Garden in New York City in 1973. What else do we have? We have, let's see, in 19, hold please, I'm way low on this one. We're going to come up here. In 2015, Adele. Hey, why did Adele cross the road, Mary?
Well, she crossed the road to say, hello from the other side.
Exactly. Yay. Adele's comeback single, yay, Hello, achieved platinum status in the UK on this date in 2015, just 3 weeks after it was released, after the chart-topping song sold more than 600,000 copies. Here's a little bit of Adele from the other side. Hello.
That's a lot of copies.
Hello, it's me. I was wondering if after all these years you'd like to meet to go over everything. They say the time's supposed to heal ya, but I ain't done much healing. Hello, can you hear me? I'm in California dreaming about who we used to be when we were younger and free. I've forgotten how it felt before the world fell at our feet. There's such a difference between us and a million miles. Hello, how are you? It's so typical of me to talk about myself. I'm sorry. I hope that you're well. Did you ever make it out of that town where nothing ever happened?
it's no secret that the both of us are running out of time. So hello from the other side. I must have called 1,000 times to tell you I'm sorry for everything that I've done. But when I call, you never seem to be home. Hello from the outside. At least I can say that I've tried to tell you I'm sorry for breaking your heart, but it don't matter. It clearly doesn't tear you apart I must have called 1,000 times to tell you I'm sorry for everything that I've done. But when I call, you never seem to be home. Hello from the outside. At least I can say that I've tried to tell you I'm sorry for breaking your heart, but it don't matter. It clearly doesn't tear you apart anymore.
Hello from the other side. Adele. That was, let's see, whoa, what was that? That was November 13th. What's that, Matt?
That was an ad, sorry.
Oh, okay. So on this date in 1981, you too kicked off a 23-date North American October tour at J.B. Scott's in Albany, New York. On November 15th, 1982, Men at Work started a 15-week run at #1 on the U.S. album charts. And let's see, I had an interesting one that I can leave you with. The Beatles launched their first official website on November 13th, 2000, thebeatles.com. Site went live that day. And then I thought I had another good one before we go away. Somebody sued Rod Stewart for throwing a football at his concert. Rod Stewart started 8-week run at #1 on the U.S. singles chart, and she sued him for breaking her finger in the audience. What are you going to do? And that was 1976. All right, well, that's our historic day in music. We are going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. Don't go away.
This is McGruff the Crime Dog, and I need you to help me take a bite out of crime. Counterfeit products are popping up everywhere. Fake sneakers, fake cosmetics, and even fake pills. Crooks are selling counterfeit versions of just about everything. Last year, billions of dollars worth of counterfeit products were sold in the U.S. Sure, it may seem like saving a few bucks on the things you want isn't a big deal, but counterfeits are usually made in unsafe conditions, potentially using hazardous and even lethal ingredients that could harm you and others. And the money you've paid, it goes right into the hands of criminals and may support child labor, drugs, and even gangs. Smells like big crime to me. So if you still think buying fake products is harmless, think again. And remember, if you don't know where the products came from, how could you know where the money goes? You're smart, buy smart. Go for real. Learn more at mcgruffpsa.org. This message is brought to you by the United States Patent and Trademark Office and the National Crime Prevention Council.
Your hometown radio station since 1949. We are WRMN AM 1410, Elgin time, 3 o'clock.
With your 1410 WRMN News Flash, I'm Sean Kernan. Brought to you by Verizon. In Geneva, Kane County officials cracking open a long-sealed vault at the historic 3rd Street Courthouse, sparking local curiosity. The vault, untouched since 1893, held only a smaller safe, which, upon opening, was found to be empty. Despite the lack of contents, the discovery was still notable for the safe's heritage, linked to the Mosler Safe Company. Kane County inviting residents to explore a world of geographic information systems during an open house on November 20th at the Government Center from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. Attendees can dive into how GIS technology shapes various county operations. Kane County has a number of commission seats open, everything from public safety to environmental conservation. Residents looking to make an impact locally can join these commissions and help steer policies and represent their community voice. Contact Kane County for further information. With your 1410 WRMN News Flash, I'm Sean Kernan.
If fashion is your thing, eBay is it. eBay's where I find all my favorites, from handbags to iconic streetwear, all authenticated. For real. This time, a little Supreme, some Gucci. I even have that vintage Prada on my watch list. That's why eBay's my go-to for all my go-tos. Yeah, eBay, the place for new, pre-loved, vintage, and rare fashion. eBay, things people love.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds, which could be life-changing. I mean, you could put that money towards that zero-turn lawnmower you've always wanted. And after using its edge-shaping technology to meticulously sculpt the face of the Mona Lisa into your grass, you'll become the undisputed king of Saturday morning lawn care, leaving your neighbor and sworn enemy Gary to question his place in the delicate neighborhood ecosystem. And it's all because you could save money switching at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states.
Twin Gyros, located at 4870 North Harlem Avenue in Harwood Heights, serves traditional gyros as well as its award-winning chicken gyros on a pita. Twin Gyros has a diverse menu that includes barbecue ribs, chicken dinners, Philly cheesesteak sandwiches, cheeseburgers, and Vienna beef hot dogs that have recently been inducted into the Vienna Beef Hot Dog Hall of Fame. Check out the full menu at twinsgyros.com. That's Twins Gyros at 4870 North Harlem Avenue in Harwood Heights, Illinois.
Imagine planting, tending, and raising your crops all season long, only to discover a micronutrient deficiency is robbing your yield potential. Once you spot signs of nutrient deficiencies, it can be difficult to bounce back. Get ahead of manganese, boron, and copper deficiencies with Moxon from CHS. Designed with a patented Levosol chelate, Moxon increases nutrient availability and provides your crops with the nutrition they need. Ask your local CHS retailer about the power of Moxon.
This is WRMN News.
Hello, I'm Dennis Green. A controversial Louisiana law has been temporarily blocked, requiring the 10 Commandments to be displayed in classrooms across the state by January 1st. News Nation's Anna Koyman reports.
U.S. District Judge John DeGravels ruled it unconstitutional, saying in part, the minor child plaintiffs will be forced to attend school and submit to unwanted and unconstitutionally coercive religious displays, and the parent plaintiffs will be forced to acquiesce to schools' usurpation of their right to direct their children's religious education. The American Civil Liberties Union is applauding the decision, calling it a victory for religious freedom.
Louisiana's Attorney General contests the ruling, and they will appeal. A dog named Titan is being hailed a hero after helping Texas investigators solve his owner's murder. Police say Mandy Reynolds was shot and lit on fire. The victim could not be identified, but police discovered her name thanks to her microchipped dog, who wouldn't leave her side. McLean County Assistant District Attorney Ryan Calvert
instantaneously recognized from the behavior of the dog that that dog goes with that person. Police in Robinson and in San Marcos and Wichita could transmit different information and images to one another which made the investigation seamless.
Reynolds' cousin was caught driving her car in Kansas days later. Walmart security footage showed him buying a gas can and the same storage bin left at the murder scene. Derek was convicted of murder and sentenced to life in prison.
WRMN News, produced in Studio 4.
Here at WRMN Radio, we try to connect with the community and discuss important issues, like our current mental health crisis. Here's Lori Baker, President and CEO of AID.
I think most people, when they see young children thinking about suicide at the ages of 5 and 6 and 7, I mean, that's shocking to me that children even know that they want to harm themselves somehow. I know it's difficult. I definitely feel the pinch. We all feel the pinch at the gas pump, at the grocery store, right, in our rents, but I think most people could handle 27 cents a day to help kids and seniors and people experiencing homelessness.
Discussions like this take place on the first shift, weekday mornings from 6 to 10, right here on WRMN AM 1410 and WRMN 1410 Radio on Facebook.
There are some things you can't cover up with lipstick and powder. Thought I heard you mention my name. Can't you talk any louder? Don't come any closer. Don't come any nearer. My vision of you can't come any clearer. Oh, I just wanna hear girls talk.
Welcome back. It is LA Afternoons with Talk Time with Tammy and friends. I'm here with my friend Mary.
Hello.
We're broadcasting live from Nashville, Tennessee today. And Mary has been, I don't know if you listened yesterday, but if you did, thanks for listening. And we did do a little chat about some Shark Tank items yesterday that were kind of interesting. Well, we've got some more for you today. What Mary's got today for you is failed Shark Tank items that didn't make the cut. Let's see. She talked yesterday about some of the most popular ones. Bombas. What was the other one?
Scrub Daddy.
Scrub Daddy.
Oh, yeah.
Scrub Mommy. Scrub Family. And then the Bombas. I didn't realize Bombas was a Shark Tank product.
Yes.
So
Yes.
those are their two of their most successful. But what else you got for us? You got some of the ones that didn't work out.
So I looked at some information on deals that were made that the Sharks lost money on. And then I also looked at deals that they took a pass on that they're kicking themselves in the butt.
That they missed out on. Yeah. You don't think about that when you're watching Shark Tank, that the Sharks are gonna miss out on a good deal.
Yeah, and there's a couple we're gonna chat about. But first of all, we're gonna talk about a few that actually they made a deal and the Sharks lost their money. So the first one is called Toy Guru. And the whole concept of the Toy Guru is like a Netflix for toys. It was a subscription service that allowed them to rent different toys. You know, kids get bored with toys.
Well, that doesn't sound like a bad idea.
It wasn't a bad idea, but there was two problems why it failed. Well, first of all, Mark Cuban and Kevin O'Leary, they paid $250,000 for the investment.
Okay.
And the reason why it failed was two main reasons. Number one, the sourcing of getting the toys. They were hoping they could partner with Mattel and be able to get some really good costs down. And that did not come to fruition.
Oh, why not? Who dropped the ball?
I don't know, but I'll tell you what, nothing came out of it. I don't think it was for lack of trying, but couldn't do it.
Who was it? Mark Cuban and who?
And Kevin O'Leary, Mr. Wonderful.
Mr. Wonderful couldn't cut a deal with Mattel? I don't know.
Maybe he was asleep at the wheel.
Maybe. So what happened to that one? Nothing?
Well, shipping costs. The founders of the company, their whole thing was they wanted free shipping. And when Cuban and O'Leary got involved, they were like, that's a mistake. We should not do free shipping.
Okay.
But there's 5 co-founders of Toy Guru. And so those 5 votes outdid, right, the 2. So that was another thing that just didn't take off.
Well, it sounds like a good idea because, kids grow out of toys. And then what do you do with them? You take them to the resale shop or you donate them or whatever. You give them to somebody younger. I mean, I think half of Declan's toys come from his mom's friends who they have babies just like a year older or whatever. And they don't need them anymore. They know they're not having any more kids and they just pass them down. So I think that it sounded like a good idea. It just wasn't implemented well.
No, and so they lost $250,000 on that deal. Now, sometimes there's deals that are struck on the show, but when the due diligence goes through, they don't come to fruition. And that is the case with a product called Show No Towels.
Okay.
And the concept.
The one with the Mickey and Minnie Mouse on it.
And it had like a hole for the head. I just sent it.
Yeah.
For the kids. So it's like a poncho, right? So it's a towel shaped like a poncho with an opening in the middle for their head.
Oh, there it is.
There it is. How cute is that? And Lori Grenier put together.
She did it.
A deal. $75,000 was the investment for 25% equity, but the reason why it didn't work out, there was a little bit of bickering or a little bit of friction between the owner and Lori Grenier.
Okay.
Now there's he said or she said. So Shelley, who was the owner of the No-Show Towel, said that Grenier told her not to cash the check the next day.
What?
Yeah, and she later tried to change the terms of the deal and asked for 70% versus 25%.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Wait. Let me see if I got this straight. She cut a deal, this Shelley girl, with Lori Grenier on Shark Tank. And Lori said, I will take 20% of the company for how much money?
$75,000. 20. I'm so sorry. 25% of the company, yeah.
For $75,000.
Yeah.
And then the next day she wrote her the check for $75,000 and then she said, don't cash it because I want more of the company.
Yes.
Well, that's not what you agreed to, girlfriend. So what happened?
I know. So it never came to fruition. She said the deal with Grenier had turned to crap and
she never. So did she ever get the $75,000?
She did not.
Oh, that's you don't hear about those deals going down, right? Because that's adorable. I would get that little thing for Weedex too.
You would love it. You kidding me? I could see him looking down on him, smiling.
So if you're at the beach or you're at the pool and it's a quick dry off, like that's a great thing for a little kid to. I don't know. Keep working it, Shelley. Keep it another whirl.
Yeah, absolutely. So now she's targeting. Shelley, the owner, is targeting the underserved market of people with disabilities.
Yeah.
So, hey, that's great.
That's another great one. It's just an easy way to dry off. You know what? Make me one for my dog, okay? I put it over the dog's head, and then you just dry him off with it like that.
That's perfect.
I know. Come on, Shelley, get with it. We could partner, Shelley. We just need a financial partner.
That's right.
Because it's not us. Let me just tell you.
So the next one is a product called Sweet Balls. It ends in a Z. And those actually are the makers of cake balls, which are super popular.
Cake pops were a big thing.
Yes.
I don't know if they still are, but
it's the same without a stick.
Okay, so what, you just pick them up with your little donut holes.
Yeah.
They're donut holes. They're like
one of those.
Yeah.
Right now.
Like my what would she be? I don't know, my cousin, I guess she'd be. She did a truck, like a cake pop donut hole truck that,
Perfect.
But it used to be a big deal. It's kind of, you don't hear about it much anymore.
And this was definitely a good product that had good taste. It had good traction. So Mark Cuban and Barbara Cochran invested $250,000.
Okay.
And they got a 25% stake in the company.
Okay.
But why it didn't work out is the two founders, it's like the classic story of two people not getting along.
The founders couldn't get along?
They got into a lawsuit shortly after the Shark Tank deal. The one partner was suing the other partner because he felt like the other partner was putting together a competing product behind his back.
Oh,
So
he didn't trust the little guy.
He didn't.
Yeah, okay.
It didn't. So basically, the conflict between the founders took place shortly after the Shark Tank episode was aired, which resulted in a big opportunity for the business. So basically, after the completion of the lawsuit, it is the ownership of Sweet Balls is back to the original, just one creator of Sweet Balls, and he just runs it as a side gig.
He got rid of the guy.
Yeah.
Okay, but did he keep the 250,000?
No.
He had to give it back.
Oh no, they kept the 250.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah,
but
and now they're out of business. So that's
all right.
that's probably chump change to Barbara
Right.
Cochran.
Well, it was what 125 each. So
Well, it's interesting because I was like, gosh, that's a lot of money. But I'm like, I did a little research.
You did.
And for seasons 5 through 9, so that's a pretty good little sample period.
6, 7, 8, 9, 4.
Yeah. 210 deals and only 12 have failed.
210 deals, and 12 have failed. So 90, whatever of them, 98 were successful.
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay.
The next one is called Body Jack.
This is a failed one too.
Yeah, this is still failed.
Okay.
They invested and it didn't take off. So Body Jack without a K.
Okay.
Was a product. This is kind of interesting. It's a fitness machine.
Yeah.
Designed to make push-ups easier for out-of-shape people.
Holy crap.
Okay, I'm taking offense to that.
Holy moly.
Right now.
That you can't do a push-up because that device?
I might need it. And the person who founded it his name was Cactus Jack Behringer. And this was the first season of Shark Tank, episode 5. And he got $180,000.
Wow, I'm surprised
50%.
someone gave him money for this thing.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
50% equity, and that was from Kevin Harrington and Barbara Corcoran.
Okay.
But interesting, they put a contingency on closing the deal.
What was that?
Barbara Corcoran told Cactus Jack that in order to finalize the investment deal, he needed to lose 30 pounds to prove that machine worked.
Oh.
He did it, and the deal went through.
Oh.
However, the business didn't reach any success afterwards.
What do you mean they couldn't sell them?
Yeah, the website selling the product was discontinued 3 years later, and
it's kind of wacky that you need that to do a push-up.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Well, and Corcoran's talked about it, and she's mentioned in interviews that investing in the company was the worst business deal she ever made.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Well, I guess, I don't know if she used her noggin on that one because it looks like a wacky idea to begin with, but,
Yeah, well, and she gave him the challenge. Cactus Jack, you used lose 30 pounds, we'll close the deal, and he did it.
Well, he lost 30 pounds. We're assuming he used the machine, right?
Yeah.
Did he have really, really, really strong arms and pecs from doing all those push-ups, right?
Probably.
I don't know. When was the last time you did a push-up?
I'm going to do one right now.
No,
Tammy.
you're not.
I'm getting on the floor.
No, she's not. All right, we'll do it during the break.
We're going to do it during the break.
Yeah, we'll do push-ups during the break.
The last one I wanted to talk about was a product, which actually I remember watching this and I thought, and then we're going to talk about the other stuff, but like missed opportunities. But this one was $1 million investment. It's called the Breathometer. And I remember watching this on Shark Tank thinking, what a cool idea.
Wait, you saw it when it aired originally?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And it's a portable device that worked with your smartphone. It was an app that measured your blood alcohol level.
Oh.
So then it was portable, right? So then you knew that if you could drive or not,
get in
right?
the car or not. Yeah. How do you know what your blood alcohol? If I have one drink and I'm 4'10", can I drive? If I get pulled over, am I in trouble? I don't know what my blood alcohol level is.
Exactly.
So I think it's a good idea to have something that tells you where you're at, and maybe you sit and have a Coke and wait for it to go down before you can drive.
Yeah.
But how do you know? You don't know. So I think that would have been a good idea. What happened?
Well, what happened is all sharks went in. They fought over
all of them.
All of them for $1 million.
Because they all thought it was a good idea.
Yeah, and they fought. And then the gentleman who invented it, Charles Yim, had said, would you all consider working together? And so they did. They ponied up $1 million and they got a 30% equity.
Wow.
But
$1 million, yeah.
$1 million. So why it failed is, even though the idea sounded great, all 5 sharks wanted in on the action, right? But the business ran into a lot of problems after the deal. The first problem was they had a problem fulfilling all the orders. So there was a bunch, a lot of times when you're on TV like that, your product, it's like no press is bad press. People wanting to order it, so they couldn't fulfill those
they had
orders.
more demand than they could handle.
Yep.
Okay,
But
all right.
then
That's not a bad
only
problem. I mean, they can overcome that, right?
right, but then this is what the kicker was.
What's that?
So shortly after, it was discovered that it was not an accurate test. It did not work as advertised, and not always, but occasionally reported a blood alcohol level far below the actual value.
Oh, it didn't work right.
Right. So that there was a huge lawsuit. So the Federal Trade Commission,
right,
they got involved.
Oh no.
And they ordered Breathameter to make full refunds to all of its customers and take the product off the market.
Because it didn't work. Well, I mean, if it worked, it's one thing, but you're assuming that it works. You're assuming that it works if you're going to invest in it. I guess that's the problem.
Yep.
They should have gotten drunk and breathed in it on their own. And
They should have done more test markets. And Mark Cuban calls it the worst execution in the history of Shark Tank. And there's a couple other things that Mark Cuban's kicking himself that he didn't
do.
He didn't do.
Like what?
Well, let's talk about that.
Let's talk about that. What do we got?
Well,
because I don't know. I wonder how much they've all made off of that show. How much money that. That
I'll report back to you after I do my push-ups.
Barry's like, ooh.
I'm not going to use Body by Jack though.
No, don't use Body by Jack.
Okay, so the biggest missed opportunity, and nobody invested, was a product called Doorbot. Doorbot, B-O-T.
D-O-O-R, Door, B-O-T, Doorbot.
Like a robot.
Okay.
Which, as we all know, it's a very popular product. You have one on your home, Tammy.
What is that? What's it called?
It's the Ring doorbell.
Oh.
So, yeah.
So wait, this was before it was Ring. It was called Doorbot, and they did not think it was a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
What did they say about it?
Well, it was on season 5, episode 9.
Okay.
And it's a single co-founder. He came in.
What year was season 5, episode 9? Do you know? I'm just curious because Ring exploded. Yeah.
Crazy exploded.
Yeah.
Amazon bought it. Well, I'll tell you that in a minute.
Okay.
But
go ahead.
So Doorbot, the guy came in. He was asking for $700,000.
Mm-hmm.
And he was asking for and he would be giving up a 10% equity position.
$700,000 for 10%. Okay.
Yep. And basically, then the problem was the sharks thought the valuation was too high.
Okay.
So Kevin O'Leary did make an offer. He offered 700. He asked, he said, I'll give you the 700, but instead of the 10% equity, he wanted 5% equity plus 10% royalty.
Oh, okay.
That would drop down to 7% once he got his $700K back.
Okay. And they didn't like that idea?
No. The royalty was a deal breaker for the owner, the inventor of this. He wants to upscale the product, and the royalty would mean that the company would be bleeding cash when it most needed it.
Oh.
Obviously turns out the company made $5 million in sales after the Shark Tank episode aired.
Just from the publicity of the Shark Tank?
Just from the publicity. And it raised $200 million in capital from Shaquille O'Neal.
Oh.
And later,
he'd be a good shark.
He would be a good shark. Some venture capital companies invested in it as well. So, including Sir Richard Branson. So they saw the opportunity from Shark Tank. Only one of the sharks made an offer, and it was Kevin O'Leary. So he saw the potential, but he put in that royalty component, which was a turn-off.
So what ended up happening to this company? Did they fold or did they turn into Ring?
No, they turned into Ring. So
did.
the company expanded the product range and made a deal with Amazon. And they actually, hold on, I have this written down.
I bet you do.
From yesterday. I think they bought it for.
They bought it.
Please hold.
Holding.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that.
I'll flip through your notes.
Which is so crazy that they bought it for. Ring brings in $577 million per year. Amazon bought it for $1 billion. $1 billion.
$1 billion.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. Back up. Amazon bought this company called Doorbot for $1 million and renamed it. Billion. And renamed it Ring?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. And Ring sells 577 million products per year.
Dang.
So yeah, that's a kick in the butt.
Did this guy make a killing out of it?
Huge.
I mean, the guy who owned it to begin with. So was he better off without the sharks?
I think so.
Yeah.
Because Kevin O'Leary was the only one who even bit on it.
Yeah.
Mark Cuban has been interviewed saying, you know, they say, what is your biggest regret? And he's like, the iBot. He goes, I did not see it. I didn't see the opportunity.
The Doorbot?
And Kevin O'Leary, if he would have backed off the royalty component, he would have made $120 million.
Shame on you, Kevin.
On his $700,000
Shame on you, Kevin.
investment. So yeah.
Okay. All right.
And that episode aired on November 15th of 2013, the ninth episode.
Yeah.
Very good.
Thank you.
You could probably look that up somewhere if you want to watch it again too. Any other opportunities that they missed?
There was.
They wish they could have.
There was one that they didn't. They offered. I think Mark Cuban offered $30 million to these 3 Asian ladies, and they turned it down.
For what?
So it's a company called Coffee Meets Bagel.
Okay.
So basically, it's an app where it's a dating app, and it's based upon your Facebook friend connection.
Oh, a dating
There's
app.
a little bit of a vetting, so to speak, a friend of a friend of a friend. So it's not just like a random.
Well,
person,
so you can
right?
trace it back. If they murder you, you can tell where it came from, that kind of thing.
Yeah,
well,
exactly. Or you could tell your friend, hey, I'm going on a date with this dude.
This
for
guy
coffee and
is,
bagels,
what
and
is he all
here's-
about?
Yeah, tell me about him.
Yeah.
But it was 3 sisters who are the founders, and they were asking $500,000 for a 5% equity position. Mark Cuban quickly fell in love with the application and made the largest offer in Shark Tank history.
Which was
$30 million.
30
buy the
million.
100% of the company.
Wow.
Mhm.
And did they take him up on it?
They did not.
Okay, so what happened?
Well, they weren't interested in selling yet, so they rejected the offer and left the show with no deal. It's not clear how much revenue is in the business. They're making, however, they've raised $23 million with 5 funding rounds. And they recently hit 10 million users for it. So,
Really? I've never heard of it.
yeah. Well,
10
now you have.
10 million people have.
That's
And is
right.
it still out there?
Check it out, Mark.
No, that's not Mark. That's
Matt. Check it out, Matt.
Well, he's got Coffee Meets Bagel up there, but is it still a thing? I don't know. So the question, I guess, is what happened to the owner, the original owners?
They still own it.
They do still own it. And who is
3 sisters.
Nobody was sniff. Oh, Mark Cuban was.
Mark Cuban wanted to buy it
and they didn't. Why wouldn't they take the 30 million? What?
because they're like, we're going to make way more than that. This
And
is
did
going to
they?
be huge. Yeah, apparently they're already, they have 10 million users. They made 23 million.
Okay, so they're not at 30 million yet.
So I think they're doing pretty good.
I think I would have.
Look at you.
I would have taken the 30 million. Oh, look, this is the app you can download. Coffee Meets Bagel. All our single friends out there, tell me what you think of it. Dating app. I've never. But there it is. If you want to try, it's for serious daters. It says, as opposed to non-serious daters, comical daters, I guess. I don't know. Well, so you hear that happy music. We're going to skedaddle, but that's very interesting. Any other parting ones that didn't make it?
Yeah, I mean, after the break, we can talk about a couple more.
Well, we might have some time coming up, but there is more like failed products that didn't quite do it. So, yeah, stick around. We'll see how the rest of the show goes. We might have time to discuss the rest of those. If not, you can save them for later. We'll talk about that later on. All right. Well, thanks, everybody, for listening. We are going to take a quick break right now. It is the bottom of the hour. It's 3:29. We'll be back after these messages and a little bit of news. We'll be right back.
This is WRMN News.
I'm Marky B reporting. Tuesday at 1:46 in the afternoon, Elgin police responded to the 400 block of Douglas Avenue for a reported shooting. Officers arrived on the scene and located an adult male with a gunshot wound who was subsequently transported to a local hospital. Detectives from the Major Investigations Division investigated the incident. Soon after, there was a large police presence at a residence in the 300 block of Silver Street. The 300 block of Silver Street was secured, and as part of the investigation, a person of interest was taken into custody. The Elgin Police Department says they will continue to provide updates as more information becomes available on their Facebook page. And we'll have an update on Fridays with the Finest during the first shift, Friday morning at 9 a.m. with Elgin Police Chief Anna Lally. A 19-year-old man is facing multiple traffic-related charges in 2 jurisdictions after police say he fled officers in Prospect Heights and crashed into a semi-trailer truck in Arlington Heights Tuesday morning. Prospect Heights police say an officer tried to stop a gray Lexus sedan driving nearly twice the posted 30-mile-an-hour speed limit on westbound Willow Road about 10:30 a.m. The officer made a U-turn in order to pull over the Lexus, but the driver sped away north on Rand Road. The Prospect Heights officer called off the pursuit and notified dispatchers the vehicle was heading into Arlington Heights. About 2 minutes later, Arlington Heights police were called to a crash involving a gray Lexus that had driven under a semi-trailer truck near the intersection of Palatine and Rand Roads. WRMN News has learned that when someone tries to drive under a semi-truck, the outcome doesn't usually work in their favor.
WRMN News, produced in Studio 14 by the River Media Network.
Businesses come in all shapes and sizes. Integrity doesn't. For more than a century, the Better Business Bureau has set the standards for how businesses should operate honestly and ethically. So when you're looking for a business you can trust, check to see who's BBB accredited and who isn't. Always choose the Better Business. Look for the BBB seal because it's looking out for you. That's why it's the sign of a better business. And find a better business anytime at bbb.org.
B-Lux Bar and Grill, Wisconsin Dells, is the quintessential American grill and bar, with refined rustic cuisine and award-winning libations. Their honest, feel-good food menu is complemented by a beer list to satisfy every taste. Classic cocktails and our signature shakes, rich and creamy with a splash of boozy goodness just to shake things up a little bit. B-Lux Grill and Bar, classic American cuisine with a contemporary twist.
We asked seniors how to prevent Medicare scams.
My best advice, if you get a phone call, do not talk to the person. These people are well trained. Don't talk to them.
They don't know me. They're just trying to scam me.
Don't be fooled. Hang up. Just hang up.
Never give out your Medicare number.
They're going to get your number to put in a false claim.
If I get a call from someone, I don't pick up the phone. And should I pick up the phone and they ask for information, then I hang up.
How do you detect Medicare fraud?
Just like I check my credit card statements, I check my Medicare statements monthly.
Scammers can get a hold of your number, order medical devices through your account, and you're not even going to know about it if you don't look at your statement.
Check your statement every month.
If you get your statement and you see something that you know you did not have done, you report it.
Call your Senior Medicare Patrol.
To report Medicare fraud, call the Senior Medicare Patrol at 800-699-9043.
It is Talk Time with Tammy and Friends right here on WRMN AM 1410. Welcome in, everybody. We are, well, it's what, 3:34 on a kind of, I think cloudy over there, cloudy and kind of
gloomy.
Gloomy's a good word for it. Gloomy Wednesday. It's a Wednesday. Happy Wednesday, everybody. We've got, well, you know what? Mary's going to do a couple more of the failed Shark Tank items, and then we're going to do our News Nation clip. So she just had a couple more that she wanted to finish. So go for it.
Absolutely. So there is a product that all the sharks took a pass on, which is called, I don't know if I'm going to pronounce it right, but it's XERO shoes.
Zero?
And I think, Matt, you have that. Yep.
Zero. Isn't that how you pronounce that? Zero?
Yeah, I think maybe it is zero.
X is like the, right?
Yeah.
Zero? I don't know.
So they asked the two co-founders, and they asked for a $400,000 investment for 8% equity. And they had already done really well when they aired. You know how they always say, tell me about your sales.
Well, what's so good about these shoes?
Well, they're for, it says minimalist style sandals. And I think I'll find out more in a minute here.
Yeah.
So at the time they appeared, they'd already had $650,000 in sales over a 2-year period, which is really good.
Yeah.
And they were on track to hit $1.2 million. And some of the sharks were worried about the simplicity of the product. It just seems like super simple, and felt it was too easy to knock off, right? Mr. Wonderful, which is Kevin O'Leary,
he
offered the co-founders $400,000, so not the $650,000, but he wanted 50% equity.
Okay.
They didn't want to give up, so much of their business, so they turned down the deal. However, because of them being on the Shark Tank, it really gave a lot of interest to people. So customers and private equity investors alike, it's gone on to be a major success. It was actually the U.S. synchronized swim shoes and archery team during the 2021 Summer Olympics.
Oh, they use these shoes, you're saying?
They do.
Okay.
Yep. And as of 2022, the annual revenues is $23 million.
Oh, they missed out.
Yep, they sure did. They sure did.
What else did they miss out on?
They missed out on the lip bar.
What's a lip bar?
The lip bar is a cruelty-free vegan lipstick made by women of color for women of color. So the gal came in, she's a single owner of the company, came in, she asked for only $125,000. She was willing to give up 20% equity. But the sharks had nothing but criticism for her. And I do remember this one, and I thought it was pretty harsh.
Wait, was that season 6, episode 18?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So and you could even just Google like the lip bar, and they'll probably come up there. But they had all this criticism for her, and the fact that it was a vegan lipstick brand, they didn't think the cost to make it vegan was worth it. But it didn't deter the owner. She said that the sharks just didn't understand her customer base. So she pushed forward with the company. It's now sold in over 1,000 stores across the United States, Target, Walmart. And in 2022, they raised $6.7 million in seed funding to expand the company even further.
What is so great about this lipstick?
Well, it's vegan, so it's cruelty-free. There's no problem with it. But she was, she's a woman of color, and it's her business, and it's meant to enhance the lips of women of color.
Okay.
And she does 5.5 million in revenue a year. So I don't think she really missed out.
She didn't need him.
Yep.
Well,
and then that's kind of the big ones.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's a little info for you.
That's what they missed out on, Shark Tank. So yeah, we'll keep up with that. We'll keep watching Shark Tank and see what else they come up with. It's kind of fun to watch it every now and then and see what they. I watch it every now and then.
I learned business stuff on it.
It's interesting. I thought when it first came out, we'd watch it. Like I'd watch it. The whole family would watch it. Like it was like, a cool show to watch. And then it's been on for a long time now. I don't know how long. That I don't even know where to find it anymore. Like sometimes I come across it as you're flipping through channels or whatever. But that's Shark Tank for you. They're still going. Shark Tank, yeah, they're still going. All right, there you have it. Well, it's 3:40. It is time for our News Nation clip. Maybe Matt's been digging around in there. Let's see if he found anything. Did you find us anything, Matt?
I sure did. Kind of interesting here.
Okay, we like interesting.
All right, government officials, military experts, and even some whistleblowers are testifying in a UFO hearing on Capitol Hill today. Retired Navy Admiral Tim Gallaudet reports.
Having never signed a non-disclosure agreement regarding UAPs, and now as a private citizen, I've become an advocate for greater UAP transparency from the government.
He testified that satellite images have been hidden unlawfully from Congress.
What is a UAP again?
It's the UFO.
So what does the UAP stand for? Unidentified what? What's the UAP? I don't know.
Unidentified anomalous phenomena.
Okay, I knew it was something wacky. I couldn't remember what it was, but who's going to remember that? UFO is easier, much easier. Unidentified flying object, right?
Yeah, everybody knows what that is.
A UFO. Now they've changed it to the whatever they just call that, But wait, they're saying that the government knows. Tell me it again. The gist of it was that the government knows about some of these UFOs, whatever they're calling them, and they're not disclosing it. Is that what he's saying?
Yeah. So the retired Navy Admiral said that he testified that satellite images have been hidden unlawfully from Congress, it says.
Oh. Well,
I wonder what the I mean, it is what it is, right? So why would you hide it? I mean, that just seems...
Congress is a little nuts, though, so there's that. I mean, honestly, Congress has been a little crazy. So, I don't know. Maybe they didn't think it was something they wanted them to delve into for whatever reason. But I don't know. Are they hiding something from them, or they just don't want them
to deep dive and get into it?
Right.
What do you think about UFOs, Tammy? Do you believe in that?
Yes, I don't think we're the only ones here. I think look how big. Seriously, we're nothing. We're nothing. We're we're this little dot in this giant universe, even bigger than a universe, There has to be other life out there. We're not it. There has to be more. That's my thought anyway.
Yeah, it's why haven't we found them though? Or maybe we haven't, they're suppressing it.
Clearly the Congress can't have it.
Yeah, so I guess the American people can't have it either. But
I don't know. I kind of think there is a little something going on out there though, but who knows, I don't know. What do you think, Matt? You think there's UFOs?
I think it's possible. I think why, it's kind of up for debate really is if there was truly something out there that it would be something that humans wouldn't be able to comprehend. And so that's why it's kind of deemed more of just well, it could be, but not necessarily, because if it were the actual case, maybe we as humans couldn't comprehend it to where we wouldn't be able to handle it very well.
So it wouldn't be other humans, you think? It would be, the life form would be something else?
Possibly.
Who knows?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't really believe in UFOs.
You don't think so?
No.
You don't think there's any other life out there? And all
there
these
might
other
be
planets?
organisms, but I don't think there's take me to your leader.
No.
I don't know.
Not like that, but
it makes me uncomfortable to think about it.
That there might be?
Yes.
Yeah. Well,
I'm being honest.
Yeah.
For me.
I think there's probably life out there somewhere. And can they drive a flying object? Probably. I don't know. Who knows? I don't know. Who knows? Are we the smartest things around?
Well, I am.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, right. Clearly, it sounds like it'd be interesting to see if the videos and the information that they have now get released, right? So we'll find out.
I guess we will. I don't know. It's kind of spooky. Ooh. Who knows? There's people. Do we still have, Matt? Is our overnight guy still the UFO guy?
Oh, yeah, Coast to Coast.
Yes. That is, I thought they said the most listened to overnight radio show out there because it's been running for a very long time, hasn't it? I mean,
it has, yeah. Since I started working here, Coast to Coast with George Noory, yeah.
But decades before that, I think the guy's been around a while. I'm not sure how long, but I think it's been around. But anyway, so
I'll have to tune in.
If you want to find out more, tune in. Midnight to 6 or 4?
Midnight to 4. Yeah, he's been around since 2003.
There you go.
Wow,
that's a long time to be talking about UFOs. But there, we have any comments on that, Matt?
Oh, there he is.
Oh,
hello, George.
Yeah. Any YouTube comments on that?
We do. We've got Brendan saying hello. He's listening.
Hi, Brendan.
And we've got Mark saying here, hi, Brendan. I'm Marky B. I'm listening.
Nice.
Hey, Marky B.
A lot of listeners. We've got a lot of listeners. Thanks for listening, everyone. All right. Well, I guess we're on that spooky note. We're going to take a quick break right here, and then we're going to come back and play a little game. Come on back. We've got one more segment left for you. Come on back.
Take a historic walk through the home of America's greatest showman, Al Ringling. Located in Baraboo, Wisconsin, you can view the grand opulence on a guided tour, now hourly starting 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Weekday tours begin on the veranda and on the weekends in the tap room of the Al Ringling Brewery. Behind the mansion, kick back and try a flight of craft beers and dine at this family-friendly stop. Visit alringlingmansion.com for more information.
There's a price war in the insurance business, and you may be paying too much. Call the Term Lifeline right now and see if you can save 40%. $500,000 plans and up, that's our specialty. Even great smokers' rates. Protect your family today. Call the Term Lifeline right now for a free quote. 866-509-TERM. 866-509-TERM. 866-509-TERM.
From morning coffee to your evening commute, WRMN 1410 AM is here for you, the faithful friend that brings you local news, timely topics, and the friendliest voices in the Valley. Stay informed, entertained, and engaged with our full lineup of shows, streaming all day, every day at WRMN1410.com or on the WRMN app. Wherever you are, we're right there with you. So why switch stations? Stick with the one that has it all. WRMN 1410 AM, your daily companion, your constant conversation.
Roll into Bolero in Algonquin or Roselle and wake up with a story to tell. Bolero is bowling, gaming, dining, and nightlife with a twist. Score a sweet deal every day of the week and save big by checking out the daily deals online. Team up with your friends and hit the lanes by forming your own social club. Clubs offer lively competition and laid-back fun for everyone. From beginners to pros, make new friends, bowl, and hang out at a happening place. Visit Bolero.com.
Be sure to catch the First Shift weekday mornings from 6 to 10 a.m. for important information like fire tips from Elgin Fire Chief Rob Sagan.
The thing in the winter that we're more concerned with is carbon monoxide, because that we don't get in the summer. That carbon monoxide issues occur because of heating equipment. Anything that burns natural gas, if it is faulty, can generate high levels of carbon monoxide, which in time can be fatal. So I can't emphasize enough the importance of having carbon monoxide detectors in your home. Every single year you will see somewhere in the country, and usually we'll get one or two in the Chicagoland area, where you'll see multiple fatalities in one home. You can't smell carbon monoxide, you can't taste carbon monoxide, you have no idea it's happening. And so it's critically important that you have the right detectors in your home.
It's the First Shift weekday mornings at 6 a.m. with me, Marky B, right here on WRMN.
back. It is Talk Time with Tammy and Friends. It is 3:50 on a lovely Wednesday afternoon. Welcome in, everybody. If you're just joining us, we are going to do a little more of the Did You Knows, because those are kind of fun. And as long as we woke up our friend over there, Chad, then, we can do some more. It just went away on me, though. I don't know why.
You know what's so weird, Tammy? I don't know if you heard about this, but
what?
There is a cross between a cow and a bison, and it's a hybrid. And did you know it is called beefalo? And you can buy its meat in 21 U.S. states.
Beefalo. It's a cross between a bison and a buffalo?
And a cow.
Oh, and a cow.
Yeah. It's a
Okay.
hybrid, and it's called a beefalo, and you can buy its meat in 21 different U.S. states.
What does it look like?
Well, it looks like that. I should have sent this to
But,
Matt.
oh my God, a beefalo. Oh my God, he looks sick. He doesn't look good.
It looks a little
I don't know
deformed.
if, Matt, you can find a beefalo out there, a picture of one to throw up, but I don't like that. Well, he looks now like a happy cow. Is that supposed to be a beefalo?
I guess so.
Let's see, image of a beefalo. It says bull. That's a beefalo bull. That one looks so
This
good.
one's a cow and a bison combo. It's a hybrid called a beefalo. Maybe Chad knows.
I don't. Oh, does Chad know?
He actually, yeah, he does. He knows.
Oh, he knows all. You kidding me?
What do you think, Chad?
Chad's super smart.
Oh, congratulations, you've stumbled upon nature's Frankenstein. Yes, there is indeed a cross between a bison and a cow, because humans just can't leave well enough alone. It's called a beefalo, very creative name, I know, and it's bred to combine the bison's hardiness with the cow's deliciousness. These hybrids are real and raised for meat, which is supposedly leaner and healthier than standard beef. So yes, bison and cows have had some very productive dates. Score. 10-10, you nailed it. What did you Google first?
Hey. All right, Chad. We got something real, at least. That's a beefalo. Let's see. Well, how about, did you know that a cat has 32 muscles in each ear?
Really?
That's a lot of muscles in
That
a
is a lot of muscles.
in a cat's ear. I don't suppose that's that's not earth-shattering, though, is it?
I wouldn't debate that.
No. You won't debate this one either. Did you know the first letters of the months July through November spell Jason? July, August, September, October, November. How about, who is looking at that? Well, this guy's all right.
Okay, well, that's pretty interesting.
Did you know? Here's a good one to learn. Here's what you can learn today on Talk Time with Tammy. Did you know macadamia nuts are toxic to dogs?
I did not know that.
There you go.
Yeah, that's good to know, because you want to make sure that we love our little four-legged guys.
Right, and there's actually I just sent a list to my husband and my daughter about all the things on your Thanksgiving table that dogs are toxic to dogs.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Turkey, I know that.
No, they
Right?
can have turkey.
Oh, hi.
Just a minute, Whiz. Let's see. Spiders. Let's see. Did you know? Let's see if we can find. You got a good did you know?
Well, yeah. I mean, did you know, this is weird, Marilyn Monroe and Queen Elizabeth II were both born on the same year.
Wow.
I just thought that was kind of interesting.
It
I was
sure
like, huh.
is. That's a while ago. I mean, that's, she was born a while ago. Let's see, what other fun did you knows do we have? And I don't know, maybe we have to wake up. Oh, there it goes again. I hate this homes.com. It hijacks my stuff.
Here's something that's weird. And did you know, I don't know why you would know this, but I'm curious if Chad can confirm this. Nikola Tesla hated pearls.
Why?
I don't know. Does Chad know?
I don't know. Why would Nikola Tesla hated pearls?
Hated pearls.
Well, okay. Yeah, if you can.
Come on, Ash, you gotta go potty?
Is that what she's wanting? Okay.
Oh, maybe.
Let's see.
Yep, he's got something to say.
What's he got?
What does he have to say?
Oh, absolutely. Nikola Tesla despised pearls with the fiery passion of 1,000 alternating currents. This wasn't just a casual dislike, it was an outright phobia. The man was such a germaphobe and perfectionist that pearls probably offended his entire aesthetic sensibility. Legend has it that he once refused to speak to his secretary because she dared to show up wearing pearls. Imagine being that committed to your fashion grudges. Forget AC versus DC, Tesla versus. Pearls was the real rivalry of the 20th century. Score 9-10. Yes, it's true, but I'm docking a point because Tesla was too weird about it.
Thank you, Chad.
Thank you, Chad. Thanks for confirming. Well, you're like 2 for 2 on that one.
Jeez.
Did you know it's possible, talking of cows and bulls and all those kind of critters, it's possible, did you know it's possible to lead a cow upstairs but not downstairs?
We'll have to try that.
We'll have to find a cow and see if we can get him to go down the stairs. Did you know that frogs can't swallow with their eyes open?
Really?
That's what they say. I don't know.
Interesting. You know what? There was one, too. This is Izzy, for all you that can see the dog.
There's little Wiz. That's who's been barking in the
such a little
background.
doll.
Yes.
So cute.
Okay, you know Famous Amos, right, Tammy?
Yes, I know Famous
Okay,
Amos.
so Famous Amos, where do we think we know him from? What is he?
He's cookies. I used to make Famous Amos cookies in my models when I did sales and marketing for new home builders all over the place.
Yeah, so he not only discovered snacks, this is weird.
He discovered snacks?
He invented that snack, Famous Amos cookies.
Oh.
But he also discovered and signed Simon and Garfunkel.
What?
And was the talent rep for Diana Ross, Sam Cooke, and Martin Gaye.
Is that right? He was a talent rep?
Yeah,
that's
not just
interesting.
cookies.
You go, Famous
Not
Amos.
just cookies.
Is that why he was famous?
I think that he just had multiple talents that made him famous.
Yeah. Famous Amos, I don't know. Well, he had really good oatmeal cookies, I'm going to tell you that. Let's see. Did you know that frogs don't usually swallow water? They absorb most of the moisture they need through their skin, so they don't swallow water.
Really? And they can't drink with their eyes closed?
I guess not.
Okay, we're learning.
I forgot what they can't do with their eyes closed. Did you know that cats have over 100 vocal cords?
And 32 muscles in
their ears and 100 vocal cords.
Wow.
I know.
You hear that, Izzy?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. Cats got a little bit more on you, vocal-wise.
Did you know that camel's milk doesn't curdle?
I wonder why.
I don't know why, but it says that it doesn't.
Will Chad tell us?
Well, do we need to know that? I don't know. What do you think, Chad?
He does have some. Well, let me see. Yeah, he does have something to say, so we'll take a look here.
Chad, he's only got 30 seconds. What's he got?
All right, let's take a look, Chad.
Oh, aren't you just the desert dairy expert? Hate to break it to you, but camel milk can curdle, just not as easily as cow's milk. Camel milk has a different protein structure, specifically lower levels of beta-casein and different enzymes, which makes it harder to curdle naturally or with traditional methods like adding acid. But throw enough time, heat, or effort into it, and you can curdle the stuff. So no, it's not some magical uncurdleable elixir. Nice try, though.
What did he give us?
6 out of 10.
6 out of 10.
We got, speaking of 10 seconds.
All right. Well, everybody, thanks for joining us. It is time for us to skedaddle for the day. We'll be back tomorrow. Make good decisions. Till then, bye-bye.
Bye.
Looking to stay informed on the political issues that truly matter? I'm Dennis Sonar Green, inviting you to join me every weekday from 4 to 6 p.m. on WRMN for A Political Talk Show. WRMN, the talk of the town, is where you'll find clear, balanced analysis of the day's biggest news. We dig into the headlines, cutting through the noise to deliver the facts and insights you need to stay informed. Whether you're deeply into politics or just want to understand what's going on, this show offers the depth and perspectives that matter. Tune in every weekday from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. on WRMN and be part of the conversation that's shaping our community. Let's navigate today's political landscape together on A Political Talk Show, only on WRMN, the talk of the town.
Your hometown radio station since 1949. We are WRMN AM 1410, Elgin time, 4 o'clock.
With your 1410 WRMN News Flash, I'm Sean Curdan. Brought to you by Verizon. The Elgin Police Department continuing to investigate a shooting that occurred on November 12th in the 400 block of Douglas Avenue. A man found with a gunshot wound at around 1:46 p.m. rushed to the hospital. Authorities cordoning off the area around the 300 block of Silver Street, believing it to be connected to the incident. If you have any information, contact the Elgin Police Department. Naperville stepping up the fight against drug abuse with a responsible initiative aimed at preventing drug overdoses. Residents can now safely dispose of unused or expired prescription or over-the-counter medications using the Prescription Drug Dropbox program. Secure drop boxes being accessible now at the police department as well as at all 10 local fire stations. Illinois Attorney General Kwame Raoul announcing the formation of the Conviction Integrity Unit. It's aimed at tackling wrongful convictions. The initiative announced this week aims to assist individuals who believe they have been wrongly sentenced in the state of Illinois. With your 1410 WRMN News Flash, I'm Sean Curdan.
If fashion is your thing, eBay is it. eBay's where I find all my favorites, from handbags to iconic streetwear, all authenticated. For real. This time, a little Supreme, some Gucci. I even have that vintage Prada on my watch list. That's why eBay's my go-to for all my go-tos. Yeah, eBay, the place for new, pre-loved, vintage, and rare fashion. eBay, things people love.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds, which could be life-changing. I mean, you could put that money towards that zero-turn lawnmower you've always wanted. And after using its edge-shaping technology to meticulously sculpt the face of the Mona Lisa into your grass, you'll become the undisputed king of Saturday morning lawn care, leaving your neighbor and sworn enemy Gary to question his place in the delicate neighborhood ecosystem. And it's all because you could save money switching at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states.
In the middle of the night, everything will be all right if you listen to Coast to Coast right here on WRMN 7 days a week from midnight to 5 a.m. Each night on Coast to Coast, listeners are captivated by George Newry with discussions on news and current events, conspiracy theories, UFOs, life after death, and all things curious and unexplained. Whether you're working third shift or you're just a night owl, catch the most listened to overnight talk radio program in North America, Coast to Coast, every night, midnight to 5 a.m. right here on WRMN AM 1410 and 96.7 FM.
The word is out. Nissans cost less on Route 19, but that's not all. Parts, service, and body shop, they all cost less at McGrath Nissan. Used cars too. The reason why is how hard we try. Right now, get 0% APR financing on select new Nissan models at McGrath Nissan because
Nissans cost less on Route 19.
Come to Elgin.
See what we mean.
This is WRMN News.
I'm Marky B reporting. Tuesday at 1:46 in the afternoon, Elgin police responded to the 400 block of Douglas Avenue for a reported shooting. Officers arrived on the scene and located an adult male with a gunshot wound who was subsequently transported to a local hospital. Detectives from the Major Investigations Division investigated the incident. Soon after, there was a large police presence at a residence in the 300 block of Silver Street. The 300 block of Silver Street was secured, and as part of the investigation, a person of interest was taken into custody. The Elgin Police Department says they will continue to provide updates as more information becomes available on their Facebook page. And we'll have an update on Fridays with the Finest during the first shift, Friday morning at 9 a.m. with Elgin Police Chief Anna Lally. A 19-year-old man is facing multiple traffic-related charges in 2 jurisdictions after police say he fled officers in Prospect Heights and crashed into a semi-trailer truck in Arlington Heights Tuesday morning. Prospect Heights police say an officer tried to stop a gray Lexus sedan driving nearly twice the posted 30-mile-an-hour speed limit on westbound Willow Road about 10:30 a.m. The officer made a U-turn in order to pull over the Lexus, but the driver sped away north on Rand Road. The Prospect Heights officer called off the pursuit and notified dispatchers the vehicle was heading into Arlington Heights. About 2 minutes later, Arlington Heights police were called to a crash involving a gray Lexus that had driven under a semi-trailer truck near the intersection of Palatine and Rand Roads. WRMN News has learned that when someone tries to drive under a semi-truck, the outcome doesn't usually work in their favor.
WRMN News, produced in Studio 14 by the River Media Network.
Do you own an annuity, either fixed rate, indexed, or variable? Are you paying high fees and getting low returns? If so, Annuity General would like you to have this free book to learn the pitfalls and mistakes of buying an annuity. The Annuity Do's and Don'ts for Baby Boomers contains the little-known truths about annuities, like how to help reduce your fees and increase retirement income. And it's free. That's right, free. As a bonus, we'll also throw in a free annuity rate report just for calling. We researched over 1,000 annuities and summarized rates and benefits from financially strong insurers. You get Annuity Do's and Don'ts for Baby Boomers and the Annuity Rate Report, both absolutely free for calling Annuity General today. Hurry, supplies are limited. Call now.
800-760-1845. 800-760-1845. 800-760-1845. That's 800-760-1845.
And welcome to A Political Talk Show right here on 1410 WRMN, Elgin's talk station for 75 years. We've been on the air here. Thanks so much for listening. Either will be that on the radio, the classic AM dial, or over on the YouTube or WRMN.com. You can also find us there, obviously. And thanks so much for following us, liking, subscribing, all that good stuff. Keeping the music up so you hear that cool beat in the background there. We're streaming, we're recording, and we're talking politics. It's Word Wednesday here on A Political Talk Show. I'm your host, Ben Boquist, Ben Demonia, and happy to be here. Dennis Sonar Green is out taking care of business, what we call TCOB, because you got to make an acronym. Then you could keep things in-house. Are you TCOB? Yes. I'm teeing COB. Right here on A Political Talk Show on WRMN 1410 AM. And worldwide. Give us a call, 847-931-1410. It's Word Wednesday. Excuse me. We are going to talk about regulate today, because there's a bunch of talk about regulation, you know, and be it good and bad. Regulation, deregulation is a big point for people who dislike what's being regulated. And, you know, it's good and bad. Give and take. There's a balance. We talk about balance all the time. And it's not just on the high wire like men at work. It's in every aspect, and government is one of those. And thankfully, we have a representative government, and they can vote on things. I'm going to bring up a couple things, acts and such that they are voting on down there. We'll be covering that throughout the week because day of it's a little risky to go ahead and report on things that are still being voted on. But I'm told that we have somewhat of a resolution in saying that it's tough to report on these things. But still, regulate is the word of the day because it is Word Wednesday here on A Political Talk Show. Thanks so much for listening, watching, however you are. I know I've thanked you enough, though. So regulate. Regulate, the dictionary definition, to control or maintain the rate of speed of a machine or process so that it operates properly. It could also be control or supervise something, especially a company or business activity, by means of rules and regulations. Set a clock or other apparatus according to an external standard. The standard in my time by which other clocks were regulated. Makes sense. regulation in the three possible definitions there. It's man, and we've had talks about regulation so many times on this show already. When we talk about regulations kind of being stripped recently, before what were those? The East Palestine train derailment, and how that kind of implemented or worked into that terrible oversight and train crash. Basically, the regulation of making sure that the brakes on the train were not faulty. And that was actually we were talking about that in the recent crash on the CTA Yellow Line that you may have heard of, where they basically did not test effectively if the brakes would stop under certain circumstances. And there's a bad crash. But so yeah, regulation, it could go good, it can go bad. Give us a call, 847-931-1410. What do you think? Are we too regulated? Do we need to deregulate a little bit more? Of course, can't talk about this without bringing up the daily news that's happening right now. Everybody's talking about this DOGE. What is DOGE? This article from The Hill might help us know a little bit more about it. If you've been watching sensational news, you've probably heard a story or two about it. It's an interesting development. And of course, you got to kind of take a couple steps back as Trump fills out his cabinet here, and just give it. It's tough to say or to think or feel, but give it time, give it some grace to see what unfolds here. Because to be honest, there's nothing that anyone can do to change it for ourselves. So just it is what it is. The presidency changes every 4 years, just about 8 at the most, and now it's the new guy again. So we'll see what he does. It should at least be entertaining. The last time, most of his cabinet didn't make it. Most of the people who worked with him don't work with him anymore. Shout out Mike Pence. Hope he's doing good. What is DOGE? The DOGE. The new department Musk and Ramaswamy will lead under the Trump administration. Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy will join forces to lead a newly formed Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE for short. President-elect Donald Trump announced, but what will the department do? Named in an apparent nod to the meme cryptocurrency Dogecoin, DOGE is not actually a government agency. Instead, it will work outside the government to dismantle government bureaucracy / excess regulations, cut wasteful expenditures, and restructure federal agencies. Trump said in a statement. That was a quote. The specifics of how the department will operate aren't yet known, but it's clear its two leads, Musk and Ramaswamy, will wield influence under the Trump administration, partnering with the Office of Management and Budget and advising the president. It will become potentially the Manhattan Project of our time, Trump said. That's lofty. DOGE is on a deadline. It will finish work by July 4th, 2026, according to Trump's statement. Quote, a smaller government with more efficiency and less bureaucracy will be the perfect gift to America on the 25th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence. End quote, he wrote. Musk, billionaire founder of Tesla, SpaceX, and the Boring Company, what happened to that? Has been a constant presence at Mar-a-Lago since Trump won the presidential election. Ramaswamy, another entrepreneur, threw his support behind Trump once suspending his own campaign for the presidency in January. In the wake of the announcement, Ramaswamy said they would start crowdsourcing examples of fraud and waste and pursue a massive downsizing of the government. One place he suggested starting with is defunding the programs that Congress hasn't reauthorized. Saying, quote, We shouldn't let the government spend money on programs that have expired. Yet that's exactly what happens today. $500 billion of taxpayer funds goes each year to programs which Congress has allowed to expire. There are 1,200 plus programs that are no longer authorized but still receive appropriations. This is totally nuts. We can and should save hundreds of billions each year by defunding government programs that Congress no longer authorizes, he wrote on X. Musk said he thought to, quote, delete the mountain of choking regulations that do not serve the greater good, but didn't immediately divulge specifics in his post on X. Musk at one point suggested he could find more than $2 trillion in savings, nearly a third of the total annual government spending. DOGE could come under the Federal Advisory Committee Act, which dictates how external groups that advise the government must operate and be accountable to the public. Federal employees are generally required to disclose their assets and entanglements to ward off any potential conflicts of interest and to divest significant holdings relating to their work. Because Musk and Ramaswamy would not be formal federal workers, they would not face those requirements or ethical limitations. The Associated Press contributed to this report. Thanks, Associated Press. Guys, it's one of those things where the whole time, like, they're talking out of the, one side of their mouth here. And, yeah, I mean, on its face, that kind of sounds okay. I'm not willing to say that every program that hasn't been forwarded or re-upped by Congress doesn't deserve funding. Like, maybe it's just kind of they get funding because it's a moot point to keep putting it through the process, if that makes sense. But interestingly enough, I think in doing that, there's always a recourse for the representation, the representatives, to bring that up again. And obviously, anybody really can get a bill and act what will become a law started. It's just kind of wrapping up, getting the support at the end of the day really is what it is. So again, and I'm, as I said, step back, allow it to unfold, and have some grace here. Allow some grace to to people who may not deserve it, but they're in the position to take over the government, and this is an interesting thing. A lot of it sounds good. It in some ways. Maybe sometimes you need people to go in and do demo work, and then and then you hire the people who put the crown molding in, the real nice stuff, and don't become kings and queens. It would be nice if I could really believe that this was one of those things that would turn out great, but it has the potential to. If you save that money, where does it go? That's my question. Where is this this extra funding what is this gonna fund now? It's up in the air for sure. The DOGE, the newest non-federal department, but somewhat department, an anti-government, if you would, a black hole to the government is what it seems. So take of that what you will. We'll give it time and keep bringing you news on it. If it's doing good stuff, doing bad stuff. I said regulation, all right? And this is part of it. The deregulation, it's kind of like the buzzword. Ooh, you said deregulation. We're going to start the deregulation podcast. That's how you get all the SEO, because podcasts are deregulated too, if you didn't know that. It's one of those fun things where, unlike the radio, what you're listening to right now, regulated by the FCC, we pay for ASCAP, which means we pay for all the music royalties. That's why you can hear the awesome music in Talk Time and our other great music programs here on WRMN 1410. but podcasts, it's a little bit different of a thing. Not completely unregulated as far as what the internet is. You know, you can't get away with everything on the internet, but a big step up in deregulation when it comes to freedom of speech, and yeah, just pretty much anything like that, especially if you're unmonetized. Really, like, you know, just got a thing that I'm talking on here. Whatever. So here is a brief history. I've got this from the Columbian College of Arts and Sciences. Okay, guys. So thanks to them for a brief history of regulation and deregulation. It's a great little article I found that really lays it out nicely. And this will take us to the bottom of the hour on a political talk show here with a word of the day, Onward Wednesday, regulation. The history of regulation policy in the United States is rich, but its future remains unclear. Ever since Congress created the first federal regulatory body more than 130 years ago, people have debated the proper role for what has been called the fourth branch of government. This essay provides a brief history of regulation and deregulation, reviewing a key milestone that have the key milestones that have shaped regulatory practices in the United States from the mid-1900s to the presidency of Donald J. Trump. Milestone number 1, the Administrative Procedure Act. The Interstate Commerce Commission was created in 1887 to constrain railroad rates. In the decades that followed, Congress established a variety of agencies to regulate interstate trade, water and power, communications, commodity exchanges, the other areas of inactivity in the 1930s. President Franklin D. Roosevelt's New Deal expanded the jurisdiction of these agencies and added new ones, but their sweeping authorities began to raise concerns that Congress's apparent delegation of legislative powers to federal agencies might be unconstitutional. Years of debate on the question of unconstitutional delegation led to the passage in 1946 of what was arguably the first regulatory reform bill, the Administrative Procedure Act, or APA. The APA reflected a fierce compromise, balancing the competing goals of bureaucratic expertise and legislative accountability. Its requirements that regulations be grounded in statutory law and an administrative record that includes public notice and comment continue to guide rulemaking today. Milestone number 2 would be the economic deregulation. The 1970s and 1980s brought a wave of deregulation. The economic regulation prevalent at the time relied on economic controls such as price ceilings or floors, quantity restrictions, and service parameters. Although one justification for economic regulation was to protect consumers from the exercise of producers' market power, observers noted the regulatory agencies such as the Interstate Commerce Commission and the Civil Aeronautics Board and the Federal Communications Commission seemed to get captured by the industries they regulated. But the early 1970s, legal and economic scholarship generally recognized that economic regulation of prices and entry tended to keep prices higher than necessary, benefiting regulated industries at the expense of consumers. This awareness motivated bipartisan deregulatory efforts across government that eventually led to the abolition of some agencies, including the Interstate Commerce Commission, the Civil Aeronautics Board, and the removal of unnecessary regulation in several industries. The deregulation of transportation and telecommunications that occurred in the 1970s and 80s succeeded in increasing competition, which lowered consumer prices and increased choices, and provided tens of billions of dollars per year in consumer benefits. Let's take a little pause here. As we see and we've talked about before on this very show, you're seeing the Fairness Act, how broadcasters used to be licensed, and that got taken away, I believe, in 1980 by Reagan. And a lot of people will tell you that obviously the industry has changed a lot in those days. And a big part of it is that fair time type of argument that you have to. There's a lot of old media regulations. The Fairness Act is one of them, where basically it says you can't lie, and you could be kicked off the air, lose your license for being dishonest on the air, willingly misleading people. And it's the kind of thing that it kind of goes away a little bit, especially when you talk about the internet. That's definitely the Wild West for lying. So interesting. Here is back into the history of regulation, deregulation. Obviously, environmental is a big part of it, but milestone 3, benefit cost analysis, taking that angle of it. While economic forms of regulation were declining in the 1970s, a new type of social regulation began to emerge, aimed at protecting health, safety, and the environment. Concerns over these rules, reporting, and compliance burdens led to the next wave of regulatory reform, focused not on deregulation, but on ensuring the regulatory benefits outweighed the costs. In 1978, President Jimmy Carter issued Executive Order 12,044, which established procedures for analyzing the impact of new regulations and minimizing their burdens. In 1980, Congress passed and President Carter signed the Paperwork Reduction Act. That sounds nice. Paperwork reduction. No more paperwork, which created the Office of Information and Regulatory Affairs, Office of Management and Budget, to review and improve all new reporting requirements. Benefit cost balancing has since become standard practice in most regulatory agencies, and it is increasingly expected by reviewing courts. So yeah, that seems like a pretty important milestone there, just kind of the benefit cost analysis of the regulations and deregulations. It's interesting because there's a lot of economic implications to this, the process of being regulated and deregulating things. And then, there's also the environment. The environment's a huge thing when it comes to regulation, making sure that, it's as simple as don't throw the wrong thing in the dumpster. Don't throw the wrong thing in the recycle. That's, in some effect, responsible regulation. We prove this as humans every day, that we can regulate in responsible ways. And people are going to keep on keeping on. I'm obviously Google searching something right now, so excuse my word salad. But regulations, guys, what do you think about them? I'm a big fan of the environmental ones, the ones that keep the rivers not on fire and the water clean. We've got a YouTube comment at Different Brendan. Enjoy the clean water and air and water while you can. I agree, man. That's something we need to kind of demand that stays around. I think at the end of the day, you got climate deniers and all this craziness going on. But I think we could all agree that priority numero uno should be keeping the world clean, livable, drinkable water, air. Regulate in a good way. Cost benefit is a big part of it. We're going to keep bringing you this article here. Again, it's a brief history of regulation and deregulation. And this is published by Columbian College of Arts and Sciences. And we'll be right back here on Apolitical Talk Show on 1410 WRMN, Elgin's Talk of the Town, 4 to 6, Monday through Friday, right here. Back in just about 4 minutes after the bottom of the hour news.
This is WRMN News.
I'm Marky B reporting. Tuesday at 1:46 in the afternoon, Elgin police responded to the 400 block of Douglas Avenue for a reported shooting. Officers arrived on the scene and located an adult male with a gunshot wound who was subsequently transported to a local hospital. Detectives from the Major Investigations Division investigated the incident. Soon after, there was a large police presence at a residence in the 300 block of Silver Street. The 300 block of Silver Street was secured, and as part of the investigation, a person of interest was taken into custody. The Elgin Police Department says they will continue to provide updates as more information becomes available on their Facebook page. And we'll have an update on Fridays with the Finest during the first shift, Friday morning at 9 a.m. with Elgin Police Chief Anna Lally. A 19-year-old man is facing multiple traffic-related charges in 2 jurisdictions after police say he fled officers in Prospect Heights and crashed into a semi-trailer truck in Arlington Heights Tuesday morning. Prospect Heights police say an officer tried to stop a gray Lexus sedan driving nearly twice the posted 30-mile-an-hour speed limit on westbound Willow Road about 10:30 a.m. The officer made a U-turn in order to pull over the Lexus, but the driver sped away north on Rand Road. The Prospect Heights officer called off the pursuit and notified dispatchers the vehicle was heading into Arlington Heights. About 2 minutes later, Arlington Heights police were called to a crash involving a gray Lexus that had driven under a semi-trailer truck near the intersection of Palatine and Rand Roads. WRMN News has learned that when someone tries to drive under a semi-truck, the outcome doesn't usually work in their favor.
WRMN News, produced in Studio 14 by the River Media Network.
For exceptional home-cooked meals, visit the longest family-owned restaurant in Elgin. Paul's Family Restaurant at Lawrence and McLean takes pride in their fresh daily specials like steaks, fish, pasta, soups, and more. Paul's fresh buttermilk pancakes and breakfast skillets are phenomenal. As you walk in, you can't help but notice owner Elaine's wonderful eye for detail. The toughest decision you'll have to make is what size leftover box to take home. Call 847-695-8687.
LaFleur Taco Grill at 910 Dundee Avenue at the corner of Slade in Elgin is under new management. Enjoy a huge selection of salads, quesadillas, tacos, burritos, and more. LaFleur Taco Grill also has American cuisine favorites and breakfast. Bring the kids. There's a kids menu that they'll love. Are you planning a party this summer? LaFleur also has catering with all types of both Mexican and American foods. Call 847-214-1306 or LaFleur Taco Grill on Facebook.
Twin Zeros at 4870 North Harlem Avenue in Harwood Heights, Illinois. Check out the full menu at twinzeros.com. Twin Zeros Restaurant in Harwood Heights not only serves traditional gyros, but also has chicken gyro sandwiches. Twin Zeros also serves a variety of sandwiches ranging from cheeseburgers and Vienna beef hot dogs that have recently been inducted into the Vienna Beef Hot Dog Hall of Fame. Italian beef, Italian sausage, and combo sandwiches. To ethnic favorites such as Slovakia and Grecian chicken. Slovakia is shish kebabs, specifically chicken or pork shish kebabs, grilled to perfection, served on a warm pita with tomatoes, onions, and our homemade tzatziki sauce. You can also enjoy barbecue ribs served every day. Twins is open 7 days a week and also delivers locally. Located at 4870 North Harlem Avenue in Harwood Heights. Check out the full menu at twinzeros.com. That's twinzeros.com. Welcome back to A Political Talk Show right here on 1410 WRMN, Elgin's Talk of the Town, the voice of the Valley. You can find us also at WRMN1410.com, at YouTube, at WRMN Radio. So like and subscribe there. Find the podcast for this particular show. Call ourselves A Political Talk Show from 4 to 6 every Monday through Friday. Find us anywhere you find podcasts as well. A Political Talk Show.
Simply type that into your Google machine and you'll find us. Pretty cool stuff. Pretty cool era we're living in here. Bunch of stuff we're going over. Regulation. It's Word Wednesday. So regulation, deregulation, they go hand in hand. Popular words, they're going to be kind of used a lot over the next 4 years. And we'll see where we are after the 4 years of regulation, of deregulation, regulation for some, regulation not for others, and how it kind of shapes everything going on. We're going to regulate a lot of tariffs out here, I'm hearing. That's another show we're going to do. Today we're focusing on the history of regulation. We're in the midst of it. Milestone 4 is the White House review. Again, this is a article entitled A Brief History of Regulation and Deregulation, originally published in the Regulatory Review in 2018. So it's a snapshot of history. Regulation has happened since then. More will happen. We've actually got highlighting a bill that's going out there. It's a form of regulation that seemed to not go through. So we'll highlight that here coming up in a minute as well. And again, this is from the Columbia College of Arts and Sciences. Thanks, guys, for writing this out, putting together all that stuff available online. And now I'm disseminating this to you guys over the air, apolitical talk show. Wise, Milestone 4, White House Review. When President Ronald Reagan took office in 1981, he issued Executive Order 12,291, giving the newly created OIRA a gatekeeper role in reviewing draft regulations, as well as paperwork to ensure that their benefits exceeded their costs. Although this order was initially controversial, each subsequent president has continued and expanded OIRA's central regulatory oversight role, as well as the economic principles embodied in the orders issued by Presidents Reagan and Carter. In 1993, President Bill Clinton replaced Executive Order 12,291 with Executive Order 12,866, which remains in effect today, despite the very different regulatory rhetoric of Presidents Bush, Obama, and Trump, who succeeded him. Executive Order 12,866 retained OIRA's review of significant new regulations. It also reinforced the philosophy that regulations should be based on an analysis of the benefits and costs of all available alternatives, and that agencies should select regulatory approaches that maximize net benefits to society unless otherwise constrained by law. It's interesting. Do you think that did as much as it could to really kind of, I guess it would be promote the good parts of regulation, or it's one of those interesting things where we were talking about this the emergencies declaration yesterday, where it's huge and controversial and a complete divergence from what we've done as a country. And then you see every president afterwards re-ups on it. So an interesting thing. This article goes on to kind of the future here, asking a question: will regulatory budgeting be milestone 5? And if you were listening to the last half hour, kind of seems like what they're talking about. Is the American public witnessing the next wave of regulatory reform? President Trump has made deregulation a high priority, although he has retained Executive Order 12,866 in his last presidency. He's overlaid its requirements to maximize net regulatory benefits with an incremental regulatory budget. Executive Order 13,771, which President Trump issued in 2017, requires agencies to remove 2 regulations for every new one issued, and to offset the cost of new regulations by removing or modifying existing rules. The emphasis on reducing regulatory costs reflects a dramatic departure from the focus on net benefits that has prevailed for social regulations. So I'm not 100% certain. It seems like, if my memory serves correct, that's one of the things that Biden reversed. Don't quote me on that, though. So, and now that Trump is back, I would effectively believe that this DOGE organization, or whatever you would call it, external department, is kind of going to take over that role, and there will be another executive order or something to that effect. It's an interesting place we're at, and that is a snapshot of the regulatory history thanks to Columbia College of Arts and Sciences. So check out that article on the line, and there's a whole bunch of good information to come from that. Again, you can just re-listen to this show, Apolitical Talk Show, anywhere you get your podcasts. I think we're going to hit a short break here. Just pay some bills. Got to do it. Got to do the thing. You're listening to 1410 WRMN right here on your radio station, right here in downtown Elgin on 14 Douglas Street. We'll be right back after these important messages. We are Lions International, the world's largest service organization. We are volunteers committed to strengthening our communities and supporting those in need, one act of kindness at a time. For more than a century, Lions have been serving a world in need, right here in our community and around the world. Lions International makes the impossible possible. This is your invitation to join us, because the only thing missing from our mission to make a difference is you. Visit lionsclub.org to find a local Lions Club near you. Beef Villa is a family-owned restaurant that has been in business for over 50 years. With homemade recipes made with quality ingredients, Beef Villa's great service and quality is served hot and fast. For the menu, catering locations, or for an application to join the Beef Villa team, visit beefvilla.com. Saturdays mean cruise nights, weather permitting, on Spring Street in South Elgin. Visit beefvilla.com.
Michael Brown, former Undersecretary of Homeland Security and Director of FEMA, is your new full-time host of The Weekend, which airs every Saturday from 4 to 7 p.m. right here on WRMN. Each week on the popular 3-hour program, Brown offers listeners a fresh take on the weekend talk with his provocative insights into current events, politics, and culture. So late in the day on Saturday, make it a point to catch The Weekend with Michael Brown right here on WRMN, AM 1410 and 96.7 FM. Looking for a place to try for breakfast or lunch? You'll find a gem of a restaurant with amazing food and great prices at the Tripleberry Cafe, 435 Angela Lane in Crystal Lake. For breakfast, try Tripleberry's strawberry cheesecake French toast, ribeye steak and eggs, or carnitas skillets. At lunch, there's the AM burger or Chipotle chicken BLT. There's delicious homemade cream of mushroom soup. For tasty home cooking, Tripleberry Cafe is the place to be. Visit tripleberrycafe.com.
This is Larry Jones, and I'd like to talk to you about my bank, American Eagle Bank in South Elgin. Has your bank changed names in the last 10 years? Is your bank another faceless branch with headquarters in another city? Are you tired of earning next to nothing on your savings account or certificates of deposit, or does your personal banker treat you like a stranger? If you answered yes to any of those questions, then you're ready for a new banking experience, and American Eagle is the place for you. American Eagle is a locally owned independent bank that's rooted in the community, and American Eagle customers are greeted by name and treated with the respect that they deserve. American Eagle has an innovative program, Eagle Savings, that teaches your children to save while earning prizes and rewards. American Eagle offers great rates on certificates of deposit. My bank is located in South Elgin on Randall Road between the Target and Caputo's and is open Monday through Saturday. Give them a call at 847-742-7400, and a real person will answer the phone. American Eagle Bank, a place where you matter.
Want to read some action-packed, exciting pulp fiction? Read the works of Michael Tooman, now featuring the international crime thriller, I Married a Bot Madam. Available on Amazon in hardcover, paperback, and Kindle editions. The paperback is also available at other book retailers. Check out Michael Tooman's webpage at Scilink.net. That's Papa Sierra Yankee Lima India November Kilo. November Echo Tango.
Rooted in their family Mexican history, churros are made daily with love. Churros and Chocolate at 2533 West Algonquin Road has churros made from family recipes with care and fresh each day with delicious fillings. There's also the Frida Cafe where you can relax and catch up with a friend while having a warm drink. Try Churros and Chocolate specialty churros, the churro sundae, or take home a churro cake. Visit churros, the letter Y, chocolateinc.com.
And welcome back to A Political Talk Show right here on 1410 WRMN. I'm Ben. Thanks for listening. 4 to 6 every weekday here. Come and visit us down on 14 Douglas. Say hi. We're on the bottom floor here. We're on the street level. Come by and walk by and tap on the glass. And we're talking regulation today. It's Word Wednesday here on A Political Talk Show. It's always Word Wednesday on Wednesday. And today's word is regulation. Here's a snapshot into some regulation that should definitely happen. From Fortune.com, Lindt. Y'all know Lindt, L-A-N-D-T, the chocolate company, admits its chocolate isn't actually expertly crafted with the finest ingredients in a lawsuit over lead levels in the dark chocolate. So, interestingly enough, this article is in a paywall, but it's still a good example. And I'll read you the first paragraph here just to give you an idea of what this is about. In a bid to dodge the U.S. lawsuit, Swiss chocolatier Lindt and Sprügli has scuppered its own claims about the excellence of its products, a cornerstone of its marketing strategy. You know it, Lindt always says expertly crafted with the finest ingredients, but there's been a lawsuit over the lead levels in their dark chocolate. And so now it seems like the fallout to, I guess, not having the regulations in place, you're going to have to give up the marketing of that you use the best ingredients, because clearly not the case. I think everybody knows in the chocolate world that, Lindt, they've been getting away with it for some time. It is what it is. Back onto some serious stuff. Here's an issue that people are talking about a lot. It's a contentious bill that's been passed or that's not been passed. I'm told that they're voting right now, and it was a close contest, and I'm told that it was not passed today. Then what I'm talking about is H.R. 6408 to amend the Internal Revenue Code 1986 to terminate the tax-exempt status of terrorist supporting organizations. That sounds like a home run. Like, why would you not? And that's just kind of the marketing of politics these days. If you name something, the Freedom for America Act, and even though in the fine print it says restricts freedom for all Americans, a lot of people, or at least 49% of people, will vote for them. Very interesting. And so here, just a rundown from Congress.gov. It's a good place to get all your congressional information. It passed the House April 15th of 2024. The bill suspends the tax-exempt status of terrorist-supporting organizations. The bill defines terrorist-supporting organizations as any organization designated as having provided, during the 3-year period prior to the designation, material support of resources to a terrorist organization in excess of a de minimis amount. The Department of Treasury must provide notice to such organizations of the impending designation and an opportunity to cure. Treasury must rescind a designation that it determines was erroneous, or if the organizations did not receive notice of designation. The bill provides an administrative review by the Internal Revenue Service Independent Office of Appeals with the dispute regarding a designation of an organization as a terrorist supporting organization. U.S. District Courts shall have exclusive jurisdiction to review any such designation. So yeah, basically what this is doing, there's already stopgaps, ways to prove and to designate improper charities, but they're basically saying it should be easier and less matter of fact in the verbiage. I have some interesting counter points to the passing of this. If anybody has reasons why it should have been passed, go ahead and call me up if you've been following this. Here's a letter from the ACLU. ACLU, everybody knows about that. The American Civil Liberties Union, famous for always standing up for either minority causes, civil liberties, civil rights, and in that vein, it's minorities in the sense of anybody who wants to display their freedom. There's famous cases of the ACLU even supporting people that they're ideologically opposed to. I believe the famous instance is they were basically sued. They sued in order for, I think it was the KKK, to be able to protest an event, because off of the foundation of free speech, if you could stop them from protesting, what's to say you're not going to stop us next? Even though we're diametrically opposed, we support their right, kind of thing. So I'll give you just a little history on the ACLU. But when it comes to, in regards to H.R.6408/S, the American Civil Liberties Union sent a letter to Congress urging them to oppose S4136/HR 6408 legislation that would authorize the Secretary of Treasury to unilaterally designate U.S. nonprofits as terrorist supporting organizations, strip them of their tax-exempt status, and effectively shut them down. It's an interesting read from the ACLU here, and I'll go into it just a little bit. The top here, and it was, as I said, passed April 15th, so this was sent back in May 6th, and it is basically just a letter to the Senator. Dear Senator, the American Civil Liberties Union, ACLU, urges you to oppose H.R. 6408 legislation that would authorize the Secretary and Treasury of the Treasury to unilaterally designate U.S. nonprofits as terrorist supporting organizations, strip them of their tax-exempt status, and effectively shut them down. The prohibitions instituted by H.R. 6408 are already illegal under current law. The legislation raises serious constitutional concerns, and because H.R. 6408 vests vast discretion in the Secretary of the Treasury, it creates a high risk of politicized and discriminatory enforcement. The ACLU has deep concerns with the legislation and urges that you oppose any attempt to add S4136/H.R.6408 to a must-pass vehicle, or otherwise allow the Senate to fast-track its enactment. Under both federal criminal laws and sanctions regimes, U.S. nonprofits organizations are already prohibited from providing broadly defined material support to foreign terrorist organizations and terrorist activity, with severe criminal and civil penalties. The immigration consequences for non-citizens, for violations. Thus, the executive branch already has extensive authority to prohibit transactions with individuals and entities it deems connected to terrorism, including in ways that have raised serious constitutional concerns in the last 2 decades. and new legislation is unnecessary. That was the letter from the ACLU to their senator. What'd you say? Would you have an opinion on this very law and why? Yeah, then and just again, it's one of those weird obfuscation. Just kind of look at my left hand as my right hand robs you blind, which I'm not saying that's what this is. Exactly, just an example. But yeah, you name the thing no terrorist organizations when it really should be let the treasurer make the rules act. You know, it's not hard to see what they're trying to do with that in basically giving your the job of the whole of Congress to one person. That's the kind of weird regulation that we don't want to see. If anything, we need more voices. We've got the ways to count them, votes, such representatives. We don't need the mule and a representative anymore when we've got the votes and enough people who are paying attention. Also, CAIR had a statement. CAIR action alert: urge your member of Congress to vote no for nonprofit killer bill aimed at silencing Palestine activism. So that's what they're saying. Today, join the Council on American Islamic Relations, or CAIR, in calling on your member of Congress to vote no on the nonprofit killer bill, a proposed law that would grant unchecked power to the incoming Trump administration's Secretary of the Treasury to revoke the nonprofit tax status of any religious and advocacy organizations without evidence, charges, or due process. In September, the U.S. House Ways and Means Committee voted to advance the act with bipartisan Democratic and Republican support. There's a high likelihood this act will pass without strong opposition from House Democrats. There's a lot of angles to this, obviously, with what's going on abroad, with the conflicts now. You can't help but think that this has something to do with that. And there's been a lot of anti-Semitism and Islamophobia, and it's really, in my opinion, one of those things that's being ramped up because of the whole escalatory nature of things going on out there. Really terrible. I'm glad that this didn't pass, just because we already have systems in place to make sure that these types of fundings don't happen. No reason to give all the power to the Secretary of Treasury, but that's an interesting deregulation. Deregulate Congress in bypassing them. Regulation, the word of today on Apolitical Talk Show. Thanks so much for listening to this first hour. We're gonna do headlines and phone lines after this top of the hour break. So give me a call, 847-931-1410. Saw you guys calling a little bit in the first hour. Sorry I didn't pick up. But call again. We'll have a chat right here on WRMN 1410. I'm Ben. Thanks for listening. Be right back with the Apolitical Talk Show.
Is the book called DUI Jury Trial, which is the true story of a truck driver in Illinois who was charged with driving under the influence of alcohol. Not only was he facing a revocation of his driver's license, but also a lifetime disqualification of his CDL, which would prevent him from ever driving a semi-truck again. This book includes backstories of the truck driver, the lawyers that defended the case, and the DUI expert witness who analyzed the case and then testified at trial as to the proper protocol procedures of the field sobriety tests as well as the breathalyzer test. This nonfiction novel also includes the actual court transcript from the jury trial, a courtroom showdown in which the final verdict would determine the fate of the defendant's livelihood. The book DUI Jury Trial is now available on Amazon.com and BarnesandNoble.com.
Your hometown radio station since 1949. We are WRMN AM 1410, Elgin time, 5 o'clock.
With your 1410 WRMN Newsflash, I'm Sean Kernan, brought to you by Verizon. Illinois Attorney General Kwame Raoul announcing the formation of the Conviction Integrity Unit. It's aimed at tackling wrongful convictions. The initiative announced this week aims to assist individuals who believe they have been wrongly sentenced in the state of Illinois. The Elgin Police Department continuing to investigate a shooting that occurred on November 12th in the 400 block of Douglas Avenue. A man found with a gunshot wound at around 1:46 p.m. rushed to the hospital. Authorities cordoning off the area around the 300 block of Silver Street, believing it to be connected to the incident. If you have any information, contact the Elgin Police Department. Naperville stepping up the fight against drug abuse with a responsible initiative aimed at preventing drug overdoses. Residents can now safely dispose of unused or expired prescription or over-the-counter medications using the Prescription Drug Dropbox program. Secure drop boxes being accessible now at the police department as well as at all 10 local fire stations. With your 1410 WRMN Newsflash, I'm Sean Kernan.
If fashion is your thing, eBay is it. eBay's where I find all my favorites, from handbags to iconic streetwear, all authenticated. For real. This time, a little Supreme, some Gucci. I even have that vintage Prada on my watch list. That's why eBay's my go-to for all my go-tos. Yeah, eBay, the place for new, pre-loved, vintage, and rare fashion. eBay, things people love.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds, which could be life-changing. I mean, you could put that money towards that zero-turn lawnmower you've always wanted. And after using its edge-shaping technology to meticulously sculpt the face of the Mona Lisa into your grass, you'll become the undisputed king of Saturday morning lawn care, leaving your neighbor and sworn enemy Gary to question his place in the delicate neighborhood ecosystem. And it's all because you could save money switching at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states.
In the middle of the night, everything will be all right if you listen to Coast right here on WRMN, 7 days a week from midnight to 5 a.m. Each night on Coast to Coast, listeners are captivated by George Noory with discussions on news and current events, conspiracy theories, UFOs, life after death, and all things curious and unexplained. Coast to Coast, every night, midnight to 5 a.m. right here on WRMN AM 1410 and 96.7 FM.
Do you owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes? Are you being audited or investigated? Has the IRS sent you a letter demanding payment? You may not owe what they claim. Make this free call to the tax doctor now. Let them negotiate with the IRS on your behalf.
800-234-0316. 800-234-0316. That's 800-234-0316.
This is WRMN News.
Hello, I'm Dennis Green. A controversial Louisiana law has been temporarily blocked, requiring the 10 Commandments to be displayed in classrooms across the state by January 1st. News Nation's Anna Koyman reports.
U.S. District Judge John DeGravels ruled it unconstitutional, saying in part, the minor child plaintiffs will be forced to attend school and submit to unwanted and unconstitutionally coercive religious displays, and the parent plaintiffs will be forced to acquiesce to school's usurpation of their right to direct their children's religious education. The American Civil Liberties Union is applauding the decision, calling it a victory for religious freedom.
Louisiana's Attorney General contests the ruling, and they will appeal. A dog named Titan is being hailed a hero after helping Texas investigators solve his owner's murder. Police say Mandy Reynolds was shot and lit on fire. The victim could not be identified, but police discovered her name thanks to her microchipped dog, who wouldn't leave her side. McLean County Assistant District Attorney Ryan Calvert
instantaneously recognized from the behavior of the dog that that dog goes with that person. Police in Robinson and in San Marcos and Wichita could transmit different information and images to one another which made the investigation seamless.
Reynolds' cousin was caught driving her car in Kansas days later. Walmart security footage showed him buying a gas can and the same storage bin left at the murder scene. Derek was convicted of murder and sentenced to life in prison.
WRMN News, produced in studio. What makes a great pizza restaurant? The obvious answer, great pizza. A local favorite since 1983, Pizza Pub Wisconsin Dells has been serving up the best pizza in the Dells. Year after year after year. Not hungry for pizza? Try the homemade lasagna, chicken parmesan, burgers, salads, and an extensive kids menu. Or take a trip or two to the all-you-care-to-eat lunch buffet. Pizza Pub, walking distance to water parks and hotels in Wisconsin Dells. Visit the Milwaukee County Zoo this summer to enjoy so many species of fun. Home to more than 2,200 animals, representing over 340 different species. The zoo educates, entertains, and inspires. Stomp back in time with the zoo's summer exhibit, Dinosaur Discovery, sponsored by Sendik's Food Market. You'll be astounded by the gigantic and scientifically accurate animatronic displays. Touch, feel, and learn about the role of predators in the ecosystem. Running through October 5th. Visit milwaukeezoo.org. And welcome back to A Political Talk Show right here on 1410 WRMN, Voice of the Valley, Talk of the Town. 75-year history on this bad boy. Thanks so much for continuous listenership right here, Elgin's radio station. This is A Political Talk Show. We've been doing this for just about a year here, or over it. Have we? We started in April of last year, I want to say. And yeah, going strong now. 5 days a week, 2 hours. 4 to 6 right here on your home for talk in Elgin. Local issues, federal, worldwide issues as well, all covered here. What we try to do is work on your media literacy a little bit. Not so much literacy. We like to call it nutrition. You know, if you're eating all your favorite flavor of sweets all the time, in a sense of news, not good. You got to have some balance, and we try to bring you that balance. Maybe look at things from a different way. For instance, this HR 6408 thing we're talking about. I went into a little bit of the what CARE had to say about it, and then kind of went off a little on a tangent because I realized the top of the hour was coming up. So, got to do that. Got to pull a tangent out when the top of the hour is coming up. But they had some good stuff in this this press release they had about HR 6408. So I'm going to go ahead and disseminate some of that to you. Broad discretionary powers and potential for abuse. The bill would grant the Secretary of the Treasury broad powers to revoke the tax-exempt status of nonprofits based on subjective determinations of being, quote, terrorist-supporting organizations. Without sufficient accountability, this power could be misused, and any administration to arbitrarily target, by any administration, obviously, to target organizations, especially in an increasingly polarized political environment. The threat to free speech and legitimate advocacy, the proposed legislation proposes a serious threat to free speech as it could be used to target organizations advocating for politically sensitive issues. Recent attempts by state governors and universities to suppress the Jewish and Palestinian advocacy groups underscore the dangers of such unchecked powers. The inclusion of provisions aimed at silencing criticism of Israel, advocacy for Palestinian rights, especially in light of ongoing humanitarian crisis in Gaza and the West Bank, is particularly concerning. Codifying this bias would institutionalize prejudice and undermine America's commitment to human rights and equality.
going on to say also that due process and legal concerns are a concern. The bill would allow the use of, quote, classified information, unquote, to designate organizations as terrorist supporting without permitting them to review or challenge this evidence in court. This lack of transparency is a violation of due process and mirrors the problematic federal terrorism watch list, which have been criticized for their arbitrary and opaque nature. Existing legal framework laws already exist to address the financing of terrorism, including the Anti-Terrorism and Effective Death Penalty Act of 1996 and the International Emergency Economic Powers Act, IEEPA, both of which prohibit designating entities from claiming tax-exempt status. Additional legislation is unnecessary. It increases the risk of abuse and legal challenges. Regulation, people, goes both ways. You could kind of get your fingers stuck in the spaghetti, or maybe the spaghetti's got you stuck in it. That's the way I like to think about it. Maybe also don't quote me on that. But there's so much going on with legislation, with regulation, with new laws and bills being passed, that, you know, we're just sitting here kind of biting our nails every session to see what's going through, and it's always super close. So we'll have more on HR 6408 coming out at you from Apolitical Talk Show's lens, from our view over here. We're also going to start a new after show podcast where we'll be able to let our hair down a little bit. You know, I know you guys all have checked out my Substack, benboquist.substack.com. The Dutchman's commenting. Hey, Dutchman. Having pizza. He says, hey, Mark and Brandon. What's up, Dutchman? But yeah, basically, we're going to go through headlines and phone lines here, 847-931-1410, to see what's going on. What else is going on around here? Because, you know, you can watch Congress every time they're in session, biting your nails and seeing what's going to go through, what's not going to go through. But there will always be news. There will always be other news. And one of those news stories will be the vote on this bill. We just haven't gotten it yet. People are busy. They're clacking those typewriters because they're afraid to be tracked on their internet devices. CNN.com has a story. They broke this, and this has been in the headlines for a while. U.S. defense contractor to pay former Iraqi detainees $42 million for its role in torture at the notorious Abu Ghraib prison. Federal jury on Tuesday awarded a total of $42 million to 3 Iraqi men who endured torture at Baghdad's Abu Ghraib prison over 2 decades ago, holding a U.S. government contractor accountable for contributing to the abuse. The ruling stems from the lawsuit filed on behalf of former detainees in 2008 against Virginia-based defense company CACI, Premier Technology Incorporated. According to a press release from the Center for Constitutional Rights, the organization representing the plaintiffs. The plaintiffs allege that the company was hired by the U.S. government following its U.S. invasion of Iraq to provide interrogation services to Abu Ghraib, a U.S. Army detention facility where Iraqi detainees were brutally tortured. The plaintiffs, Suhail al-Shimari, a Middle East school principal, Asa'ad Zubai, a fruit vendor, and Salah al-Jali, a journalist, each received $3 million in compensation damages and $11 million in punitive damages, according to the release and court documents. Al-Jali went on to say, quote, "This victory isn't only for the 3 plaintiffs in the case against the corporation. The victory is a shining light for everyone who has been oppressed and a strong warning to any company or contractor practicing different forms of torture or abuse." Plaintiffs alleged that CACI breached international law by deploying guards who tortured prisoners, according to the release. Over 16 years, the company attempted to have the case dismissed more than 20 times before it was first brought to trial in April. The company's lawyer blamed instances of abuse on U.S. military police who labeled a, quote, a handful of bad apples, unquote, during opening statements at the time. The case was retried in recent weeks after the jury was unable to reach a unanimous decision earlier this year. CNN has reached out to CACI for comment. The company has issued a statement expressing its disappointment in the verdict, but its intention to appeal, the Associated Press reported. Reports of widespread mistreatment and abuse at Abu Ghraib came to light over 20 years when leaked photographs showed detainees stripped naked, bound by leashes, and posing in human pyramids. In the April trial, El Jali, who sought asylum in Sweden, recalled enduring instances of humiliation, beatings, and psychological torture under blinding lights and loud music, making it virtually impossible to sleep. The case marks the first time survivors of the U.S. government's post-9/11 torture regime testified in a courtroom. The Center for Constitutional Rights said, calling the outcome, quote, historic. Very interesting story to read, especially with everybody liking to kind of rewrite history there. It's a lot of craziness when it comes to the way that people frame how things have gone. The war in Iraq and, basically since 9/11, it's weird that such a terrible thing for the community, i.e. the deployment of a lot of young people. I understand that it's it's a lifestyle, and I'm definitely not talking against the good people who went out there. A lot of it gets lost in the shuffle. They talk about the fog of war, and I think that's how usually these torture kind of things, stories come about. It's a lot of fog of war. This guy looks like the guy who blew up that marketplace. So even though he's a principal normally, or a fruit vendor, or a journalist, I'm going to treat him like he is the guy who did that stuff. And yeah, just disgusting practices that have been admonished now. And monetarily, a corporation is at fault, which I guess you haven't seen that a lot, and it doesn't take much to speak out. Doesn't seem to go very far. But I'm one of the people who believes you should not torture people because it's shown to be ineffective for one, and torture just begets more torture. So not good trends. Don't torture unless you want to get tortured. It's the golden rule, I thought. Here's a weird, crazy thing that happened. A very bad big business move highlighted by TheGuardian.com. Just Eat takeaway to sell U.S. arm Grubhub at a loss of more than $6.5 billion. Netherlands-based firm offloads unit to fast casual restaurant chain Wonder for $650 million, 4 years after buying the company for $7.3 billion. Food delivery company Just Eat Takeaway is selling Grubhub to the delivery-focused restaurant chain Wonder for $650 million or 510 million euro. Only 4 years after buying the U.S. app in a multi-billion-dollar tie-up after the first COVID lockdowns. Now, the Netherlands-based Just Eat, which is Europe's largest meal delivery company, has been looking to offload its U.S. unit Grubhub since as early as 2022. As the pandemic fueled so everybody remembers, as the pandemic fueled boost to online food shopping faded and it grappled with tough competition. Wonder is a New York-based chain of fast casual restaurants led by the former Walmart executive, serial entrepreneur Mark Lowry. Just Eat bought Grubhub for a $7.5 billion deal agreed to in June 2020, which was intended to create the world's largest food delivery service outside of China. The tie-up was aimed at giving Just Eat access to the lucrative U.S. food delivery market, with the combined business able to serve customers in 25 countries. Just Eat reportedly beat Uber to a deal, as the tech company also held talks with Grubhub as the food delivery sector boomed during the coronavirus pandemic. However, Just Eat executives came under pressure from investors after the boost from pandemic-era food deliveries began to subside as economies reopened after pandemic lockdowns, and its shares began to slide. Just Eat shares are trading at 90% lower than their peak reached in October 2020. Just Grown, the chief executive of Just Eat Takeaway.com, said the sale of Grubhub to Wonder will increase the cash generation capabilities of Just Eat Takeaway.com and will accelerate our growth. This deal delivers the right home for Grubhub and its employees. Just Eat, which listed on stock markets in London and Amsterdam, and other food delivery apps have struggled in the past few years with free caps to put in its place, but New York and several other U.S. cities designated limit to rate of commission charged by food delivery services. Wonder operates 28 fast casual restaurants, mostly around New York City and New Jersey, offering diners a range of global cuisine. Led by Lowry, who has been called the LeBron James of e-commerce, in tribute to the basketball star's business acumen, the company plans to open 100 locations by early 2026. He went on to say, he goes on to be quoted as saying, "Bringing Wonder and Grubhub together is the next step in our vision to create the super app for mealtime, re-envisioning the future of food delivery," Lowry said. The deal is expected to close in the first quarter of 2025, provided it receives usual regulatory approvals, and Just Eat said it would retain no material liabilities associated with Grubhub. So, a lot to kind of unpack there. It sounds like one of these deals where it's like, I'll buy your car for $1, and then you give me a ride to work every day, because I only have your car that's worth $1 or something. So I'll sell you my car for $1, but just like drive me wherever I want to go, kind of things that you see in business quite often. And yeah, so it's not so much that the company lost $6.5 billion in value. It's just that it hasn't realized it yet. So working together with this American company, Casual Foods, interested to see where Grubhub's going to go. I'm a Grubhub user. I worked for Uber Eats, and Grubhub has always been expensive. So as has Uber Eats. So it's really not the way to go. You should just cook at home, meal prep. That's the way to go. We got a phone call here. Dutchman, what's going on, bud?
I was just going to say, in corporate America, I wouldn't trust them as far as I can spit, but, having worked with one for years, I know. So I was going to say, just lighten the load a little, maybe it's not, but a couple of things. One was, don't, if you're depressed or, politics gets you, don't watch the Bears.
Oh, definitely not. Yeah, not a good escape this year.
Oh my God. It's a soap opera, man. It's a soap opera. It's getting worse by the day too. So
how about the last two of their offensive coordinators being fired the same week? The Luke Getsy got fired, and then they fired their brand new offensive coordinator. So bad trends.
It's not the offensive coordinator.
Right.
Okay, so anybody that knows football and knows how other teams are put together, the Bears refuse to get a decent front line.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it is. I don't know why they don't see it. I mean, you and I and everybody in Chicagoland has had it. It is so bad. I had friends that were videotaping stuff from the last game. Everybody was chanting, "Fire Fuse, fire Fuse." I mean, it went on for a long time, and I'm to the point right now where, the only way I can tell people is, I don't care if you got season tickets or not, don't go. Just don't show up for the game, because the outcome's going to be the same. And it's been the same for 30 years. I mean, I don't know why people can't figure that out. And now they come up with this idea they want to build a stadium. I mean, there's no way in heck I'd go to a place like that if it's a losing team in there. I mean, that's stupid. But I personally think it's the ownership.
Yeah,
I personally think it's ownership, but I know that's off topic, but it kind of, I mean, there's all these Bear fans out there. I feel sorry for them. Even though I lived in another place, I grew up with Dick Butkus. Dick Butkus and Walter Payton, my my idols when I was in high school playing football. I mean, these guys were awesome, right?
All-time Bears.
And I lived in California, so there you go.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
the old reach of the Bears, yes.
Yeah, and it drives you nuts. It's worse than politics, in my opinion. But anyway,
no, I think you're right on. You hit it right on the head. Since Phillips has been the president, it's been 12 years, 0 playoff wins, and I think somewhere around 4 or 5 head coaches and whole organizations.
Yeah. Well, they've got the most coaches in history. And they've had the most quarterbacks in history. Now they're dumping on Caleb Williams, and they're using him as a scapegoat. It didn't take long. All of a sudden, now he's a scapegoat. Now I remember when Justin Fields was there.
Yeah,
and some guys started doing that with Justin Fields. Mm-hmm. Even though they won, they were starting to do that. So to me, I honestly believe his days are numbered. And I think, to be honest with you, I don't think they care about quarterback. I think they just don't get it. You could put Mahomes in his position and he'd get run over like a freight train because they can't protect anybody.
Right.
So
yeah. Sadly, it seems like one of those issues like we talk about in politics all the time, where it's like no matter what, everyone's getting paid. Like they still, like you said, everyone goes to the games and sold out, and they want the new stadium and business as usual. But the product on the field, it hasn't changed. So. It's frustrating. I definitely understand. I think
your stuff that you guys bring up, by the way, is awesome, and I know Marky B is. Marky B was texting earlier, but
okay.
I always wonder what happened to Larry. Every time I pop in the morning to say hi to see what's going on in his first shifters, I never see Larry anymore. So I don't know if he retired or not. I hope he's okay. So if anything, if Marky B's there, tell him I said hi and. He's around. Maybe I'll see him at the car shows next year.
Yeah, I'm sure you will, man. And Larry actually did retire. He's not on the first shift anymore. He said he'd come and visit us every once in a while, though. But yeah, they had a big going away party for him. We must have missed the episodes that we did that on. But yeah, he's I think now just with Jake's on Friday. But still in the area, and I'll pass along the message. Thanks as usual for calling, Dutchman. Appreciate your listenership.
Well, I like what Marky B has set up and what everybody on there is doing. I hope you guys get more listeners, and I hope it grows. Like I said, I've been probably listening to this thing probably for well over 30 years anyways.
Awesome.
So
love to hear that.
And it changes. And I think your changes are for the good.
Okay.
So
great.
I'll plug you, and I appreciate you saying shout out for me too every once in a while.
Yes.
So you guys are awesome, guys. Take care. I'll talk to you later.
Thanks, Dutchman. That was a Dutchman calling in right here. Headlines and phone lines. The second half of a political talk show right here on WRMN 1410. Elgin's Talk of the Town. 75-year history. We've got great listeners just like Dutchman who call in, listen all the time throughout the day. Again, we're here broadcasting live from 6 in the morning to 6 in the evening. It's 12 whole hours of awesome content for you coming up on the back half of the half hour here. We'll go through some other headlines. Phone lines are open, 847-931-1410 if you fancy. I'm Ben. Give me a call. Like us on YouTube. Apolitical Talk Show. Download the podcast. Download anywhere you get podcasts. And yeah, we'll be back though for some more fun after these 4 minutes of special messages. WRMN News.
I'm Marky B reporting. Tuesday at 1:46 in the afternoon, Elgin police responded to the 400 block of Douglas Avenue for a reported shooting. Officers arrived on the scene and located an adult male with a gunshot wound who was subsequently transported to a local hospital. Detectives from the Major Investigations Division investigated the incident. Soon after, there was a large police presence at a residence in the 300 block of Silver Street. The 300 block of Silver Street was secured, and as part of the investigation, a person of interest was taken into custody. The Elgin Police Department says they will continue to provide updates as more information becomes available on their Facebook page. And we'll have an update on Fridays with the Finest during the first shift, Friday morning at 9 a.m. with Elgin Police Chief Anna Lally. A 19-year-old man is facing multiple traffic-related charges in 2 jurisdictions after police say he fled officers in Prospect Heights and crashed into a semi-trailer truck in Arlington Heights Tuesday morning. Prospect Heights police say an officer tried to stop a gray Lexus sedan driving nearly twice the posted 30-mile-an-hour speed limit on westbound Willow Road about 10:30 a.m. The officer made a U-turn in order to pull over the Lexus, but the driver sped away north on Rand Road. The Prospect Heights officer called off the pursuit and notified dispatchers the vehicle was heading into Arlington Heights. About 2 minutes later, Arlington Heights police were called to a crash involving a gray Lexus that had driven under a semi-trailer truck near the intersection of Palatine and Rand Roads. WRMN News has learned that when someone tries to drive under a semi-truck, the outcome doesn't usually work in their favor.
WRMN News, produced in Studio 14 by the River Media Network.
The weather is getting better, and we know it's the time when ladders and DIYers come out. Before you start any new outdoor projects, ComEd wants you to know that electricity can jump from a power line to you and the tools you're using. So maintain a safe distance from any power lines. You can also call ComEd at 1-800-EDISON-1 to have those power lines de-energized the next time you do any type of work around them. Stay smart, stay safe, stay back. ComEd, powering lives.
America's Best Restaurants travels the country and features restaurants that you should visit each week. Recently, the cast and crew made their way to Renata's German Restaurant in Hanover Park. Renata serves old family recipes and delicious German-influenced food. Renata's also specializes in a wide variety of traditional German baked goods, too. So, if you've yet to visit Renata's, try America's Best Restaurants choice. Drop in soon for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Visit renatasgermanrestaurant.com.
Available now on Amazon.com and BarnesandNoble.com is the book called DUI Jury Trial, which is the true story of a truck driver in Illinois who was charged with driving under the influence of alcohol. Not only was he facing a revocation of his driver's license, but also a lifetime disqualification of his commercial driver's license, which would prevent him from ever driving a semi-truck again. This book includes the backstories of the truck driver, the lawyers that defended his case, and the DUI expert witness who analyzed the case and then testified at trial as to the proper protocol procedures of the field sobriety test as well as the breathalyzer tests. This nonfiction novel also includes the actual court transcripts from the jury trial, a courtroom showdown in which the final verdict would determine the fate of the defendant's livelihood. The book DUI Jury Trial is now available on Amazon.com and BarnesandNoble.com.
Welcome back to A Political Talk Show right here on WRMN 1410 AM and WRMN1410.com. Like us on YouTube at WRMN Radio. You see me wearing a polo and a blazer. How about that? For fashion, fashionability. It's all great and fun right here on A Political Talk Show with yours truly, Ben. KFC is suing churches over the original recipe. Now they're suing them over the phrase, not the actual recipe. Highlighting this article from CNN Business. Thanks, guys. Not the recipe itself, just the literal phrase. Last week, KFC accused Church's Texas Chicken of violating its trademark rights when its fried chicken competitor began using the words original recipe in its advertising and promotions. KFC claimed in a lawsuit that the beginning of September 30th, noticed Church's abruptly began using the phrase and ignored KFC's October 24th letter objecting to the ads. In the disputed promotions, Church's posted photos of its fried chicken deals with the text above reading, "Our original recipe is back." Seems like a perfectly sensible thing to say. The phrase, which KFC has been using for over half a century, is likely to create confusion in the marketplace and dilute the original recipe trademark mark. The lawsuit, which was filed by the U.S. District Court in Texas, said, quote, "On behalf of all fried chicken lovers out there, we take it personally when another company tries to claim our iconic taste and branding as their own." A KFC spokesperson said in a statement Tuesday. They went on to say, quote, "We remain committed to protecting our brand's intellectual property and safeguarding the experience of our customers." This is America, where you can have your original recipe, and it could be original, and you could change from one changed recipe back to that. But if you say those words specifically and print them out and try to advertise with it, someone will stop you because original recipe has been trademarked. How about that? Very interesting. Overall arching theme in if people try to apply this, I feel like in a lot of other spaces. And it's just weird. It's like a weird vibe where it's like if every other planetary solar system sued us because we don't really have a name for the moon. We just call it the moon. Like, yeah, we have a moon too. We actually named all their moons, but assuming that they name their moons things other than moon, it's like if we sued every other solar system saying that their moons were not the original recipe or something like that. Analogies are tough sometimes, but I tried to work that through in the break, and I think it kind of worked. Interestingly enough, we'll see where that ends up as far as in court and all that stuff. It sounds pretty open and shut that they will have to just stop, cease and desist. What can you do? Stop saying that you just say the new. You can't say original recipe. What do you say? The first recipe we ever used, the recipe we started with Church's Chicken is back. Not it may be original, may or may not the most used recipe of Church's Chicken. It doesn't ring the same. So, interestingly enough, that's where we're at in chicken land and fried chicken news. The breaking stuff. Here's an article from BBC.com. We were talking about environmental regulations. Going to keep a watchdog eye on that over the next 4 years. People in India's capital, Delhi, woke up to a thick layer of smog as their air quality deteriorated to several levels, severe levels in the city. Delhi and its neighboring cities are experiencing pollution levels that are at least 30 to 35 times the safe limit recommended by the World Health Organization. Every year, Delhi and northern states battle hazardous air during the winter months of October to January during the plummeting temperatures, smoke, dust, low wind speed, vehicular emissions, and crop stubble burning. This time, experts say the condition is likely to get worse in the coming days. According to IQ Air, a Swiss-based air quality index, AQI, monitoring group, pollution levels in several parts of Delhi touched the 500 mark on Wednesday morning. AQI measures the levels of particulate matter, also called PM 2.5 in the air. These tiny particles can enter the lungs and cause a host of diseases. We learned about this a lot during the COVID pandemic with those N95 masks that everybody really loved. The satellite cities in Noida and Gurgaon also registered AQI levels touching the 500 mark. Several northern states have been experiencing toxic air and poor visibility over the past few weeks. There have been reports of flights to and from Delhi being canceled or delayed due to low visibility. So thick is the smog that it's visible even from space. A few days ago, NASA shared satellite images of a blanket of smog engulfing parts of northern India and neighboring Pakistan. The toxic air is also affecting people's health. A survey by Local Circles, an online community platform in Delhi and nearby cities, revealed that 81% of families reported at least one member suffering from health issues due to pollution in the last 3 weeks. Over a third of respondents said they had purchased cough syrup during that time. The Delhi government has enacted its graded response action plan, which bans all activities that involve the use of coal and firewood as well as diesel generators for non-emergency services, but has not saved the city from experiencing toxic levels of pollution. So yes, the mitigation efforts, mitigation is what you get when there's a problem and you need it to go away. You mitigate the efforts. I guess it's the true definition is look upable. So if you go check that out, it'll probably tell you something to the effect of lessening the effects of damage. Usually goes mitigation. But yeah, so basically they're at the point now where they've deregulated to a point where it's completely unsafe to be at a place without one of these N95 masks. Pretty much, and you know, you got a fun lesson in microbiology with the pandemic and all that fun stuff. And now you could really apply that to these particles when it comes to pollution, not breathing those in. So that's where Delhi is at right now. Not fun times, not cool, and we hate it. Listen to these messages. But we'll be right back and give you some feel-good news stories. And again, it's one of those things, they're taking measures to at least mitigate at this point now in India. So hopefully we can all learn from how they deal with this crisis, and they're going to do something. So let's watch that. We'll continue to bring you the news right here, WRMN 1410, your local spotlight, as well as we take a wide gaze sometimes. And listen to these messages. We'll be right back.
At the law offices of Guthrie and Brady, we are dedicated to providing high-quality legal services at affordable prices. Whether you're dealing with real estate transactions, foreclosures, or will and estates, our experienced team, including Mary Brady, the happy lawyer, is here to help. With over 50 years of experience, you can trust that our attorneys have the knowledge and expertise to handle your legal needs. Our comfortable and welcoming office, along with our professional staff, makes it easy for you to get the legal guidance you deserve. If you're looking for expert legal services you can rely on, contact the law offices of Guthrie and Brady today. Schedule a consultation and let us put our decades of experience to work for you. For more information, visit gandblegal.com. That's gandblegal.com.
Attention restaurant owners, are you struggling with grease trap issues or bulk grease removal? Look no further than Hopkins Grease Company. Serving the greater Chicago area since 1947, Hopkins Grease has been the go-to company for grease recycling and maintenance, offering a range of specialized services for restaurants, big or small. From used cooking oil collection to grease trap cleaning, their full fleet of vehicles and dedicated team of employees ensures fast, efficient service in areas like Elgin, Crystal Lake, Algonquin, and Schaumburg. And they're not just a business, they are part of your community. As a family-owned company, Hopkins Grease is big enough to meet your needs, but small enough to give you personalized, friendly service. And they proudly support America's First Responders through our partnership with America's First Responders Fest. So when you choose Hopkins Grease, you're choosing a company that gives back. Need service today? Call Hopkins Grease at 847-458-4040. We're ready to take your grease worries off your plate.
If you are 50 years and older, you are welcome to join Elgin State Bank's sponsored movie days at Elgin Marcus Theater. It will always be on the second Thursday of each month. Doors open at 8:30 a.m. At 9 a.m., you will hear a very brief message from Sherry Aschenbrenner about upcoming senior events, and movies will begin at approximately 9:30 a.m. Coffee and a donut is complimentary. You can always call the movie theater hotline number of 847-888-7976 to find out what movies are playing each month. The cost is $3 if you are a member of Elgin State Bank, meaning you have an account there, and $5 if you are a non-member. And for more senior information, catch Sherry's Senior Showcase on the third Tuesday of every month at 9:15 a.m. right here on WRMN, AM 1410 and 96.7 FM.
Get ready for Around the House every Saturday night from 5 to 7 p.m. on WRMN AM 1410. If you're a homeowner or contractor looking to tackle those projects that feel a bit too big, this is the show for you. Join Eric along with his knowledgeable guests as they dive deep into everything from DIY renovations to creating a healthy home environment. We'll provide you with the tools and tips you need to complete your projects with confidence and ease. But it's not all work and no play. We believe in having fun. Our passion for home improvement shines through as we help you save time, money, and reduce the stress of DIY. So whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out, don't miss Around the House. Tune in every Saturday night and let's tackle those home projects together.
And welcome back to Apolitical Talk Show right here on WRMN 1410, Talk of the Town, Voice of the Valley, 75-year history here. Apolitical Talk Show, we've just started in the last year here. You've been hearing us for the last couple months here on WRMN. So thanks for joining with our journey here, 4 to 6 p.m. every Monday through Friday. I'm Ben, usually here, Dennis Sonar Green, fearless leader of the Apolitical Talk Show, our engineer here at the studio, at the station, and so many other things, so many other hats we all wear. You might notice I'm wearing a hat and a suit jacket and a polo. So if you had those on your Ben's Wardrobe bingo card, mail it in to your local representative, and maybe they'll let me know about it. Thanks for listening, stopping by. Either that's in the metaverse, on YouTube, on WRMNradio.com, WRMN1410.com, or WRMN Radio on YouTube. It's the correct labels there. John Thune was elected new leader of the Republican Senate, that is. The Senate Republicans have elected John Thune, the long-serving senator from South Dakota, as their new leader in the chamber. 63-year-old has won a secret ballot on Wednesday, defeating Florida Senator Rick Scott, the preferred choice to many of the Donald Trump's most vocal allies, and Texas Senator John Cornyn. Scott was eliminated in the first round, In the statement, Thune said he was, quote, extremely honored and stood united behind President Trump's agenda. The Republican Party won 53 to 47 majority in the Senate last week, flipping control of the upper chamber as Trump secured his own return to the White House. Thune will be taking over from Kentucky Senator Mitch McConnell, who's stepping down from the top Republican leadership post after 18 years. South Dakota senator will serve for at least the next 2 years, Thune that is, with his term kicking off when the 119th Congress begins in January. As Senate Majority Leader, he will be the chief spokesperson for the Republican conference's positions on issues, as well as controlling the flow of all legislative businesses through this chamber, as well as the confirmation of Trump-nominated judges and cabinet members. We all know this position. If you were listening to a political talk show last year, the instance of getting Mike Johnson elected for the House was an interesting process. But Mitch McConnell, 82, was the longest serving party leader in the U.S. history and played a key role in remaking the U.S. Supreme Court and much of the federal judiciary. So that's probably what he'll be remembered for. So that's the news. Thune, new Thune in the building. Hakeem Jeffries, the minority leader, as far as I know, still. I believe that'll stay the same. 18 years for McConnell. Of course, that's on the bigger house there. Whichever way you want to look at it. More weight, I guess, in the Senate as opposed to the House of Reps. I'm going to go to the phone lines real quick. Let's see. I believe this. Let's see. Derica, you out there?
Hello.
Derica.
Yeah, hi.
How you doing?
I'm good. It's been a while.
Yeah, haven't heard from you in a minute. How's the weather out there in Australia? It's winter, right? Or is it summer now?
No.
Okay.
Summertime.
All right.
Or practically.
All right.
Yeah, yesterday was cloudy and rainy, and today it's sunny and hot.
All right. Hey, you need to get through those the rainy days sometimes to get to the good ones. I think that's what's going on. So what's on your mind, Derica? What are you calling about? Anything in particular?
Oh, I'm just wondering. I told Matt earlier that there was a cute news story on TV. It's about a koala.
All right. I feel like that's
Brazilian.
How often are the koalas making trouble down there in Australia? Is it a normal thing? Is it like raccoons and squirrels out here?
No, it's not all that often, as far as I know. But there was this Brazilian couple who are students, and they live here in Australia.
Nice.
They're like citizens here now, and they went out. And when they came home, there was a koala in their bedroom, and it come in through the doggy door.
Oh man, yeah, that's been known to happen with just animals around here. It would normally be like a raccoon or a squirrel, but a koala, okay, fun. Did it like eat their raw sugar cane in their kitchen or anything like that? What else did it get into any trouble?
No, it's just it climbed up on the bedside table and then onto the bed, and they tried to pick it up, but it got a bit aggressive.
Yeah,
and
they got claws.
So they had to call the wildlife people, and they had to come and take it back outside.
Wow, I love it. Thanks for the koala update. Always appreciated here. And if you guys don't know, this is Derica from Australia, our furthest listener. And Derica, I just want to say thanks for listening and calling, interacting with us. Always a pleasure to hear from you. Hope you have a good end of the week here.
That's all right. And I have tried to ring up before, but nobody's picked up the phone. And I even tried to ring up Tammy, and nobody picked up the phone either. And
oh no! Well, we do our best here. So a lot of times it hides numbers on us. So sometimes if we don't know or we're looking for a guest who's going to be on, a lot of things can happen. But hey, I'll always enjoy talking with you, Derica. I really appreciate you finding us and liking us on YouTube. Tell your friends. Let's start getting a listenership out in Australia. Maybe we could do some live events or something out there. We'll get some good Australian sports out there for you. Rugby league.
And I'm just wondering, did you hear that I've sent some postcards to the radio station, and they're going to get there probably in about 2 weeks' time.
Very nice. Very cute. I like that. I really appreciate that. Happy. It'll be about Thanksgiving time by then. So happy American Thanksgiving early.
Yeah.
And you have to tell us when Australian Thanksgiving is, and then we'll send you out some postcards too.
We don't have Thanksgiving.
Oh, good riddance.
No Thanksgiving in Australia.
Yeah. Oh, interesting. I didn't know that at all. But we'll send you something out. I don't know. We'll have to get a nice. I don't know if Elgin has postcards so much. We might have to send you some Chicago ones. But
well, you probably have a lineup of people when the postcards do arrive. They probably have a lineup around the block 100 times of people wanting to go in and have a look.
There you go. Yep. Yeah, it'll be. We'll throw it up in the Boseum when that gets going and all that good stuff. So we're trying to become a place for the community. So we're still working on getting that second room open over there. But eventually, hopefully, we could crowdfund to get Derica to Elgin Fund, and that's the goal. We'll get the true boost listenership in Australia, I think. Well,
and I'd like to say hello to Brendan.
Yes. Hi, Brendan.
Hey, Brendan.
Brendan.
How are you, mate? And hey, Brendan, how was your Oreo flavored Coca-Cola? I have asked you that before, but you haven't answered. And I wanted to find one here in Australia in the supermarket, but they didn't have any. They have the Coca-Cola flavored biscuits, Oreo flavored Coca-Cola flavored Oreo biscuits, but they don't have the Oreo flavored Coca-Cola, and that's kind of weird because
I agree.
you think they would, but they don't.
Sounds like some.
I can't find it here.
Sounds like some overstepping in regulation at Oreo Corp or something. I don't know, but either way, I hope we all get those what we want from the market, like we want. But of course, all we want at this show is you guys to keep listening. Like us on YouTube, like the podcast. Derica, tell all your friends in Australia to download the podcast, Apolitical Talk Show, anywhere you guys get podcasts down there. We got to wrap up the show, though, so I'm going to have to say goodbye. Thanks so much for calling, Derica.
Okay, well, I'll talk to you next time.
All right, appreciate it as always. Cleveland Dennis, I see you on hold there. Sorry, weren't able to get to your call today. Keep listening, keep talking, keep calling. Really appreciate your listenership and interaction. So I hope you guys liked what I threw together today with the phone lines, headlines, the word Wednesday, regulation. Regulate yourself. Deregulate when you're putting too much regulations on yourself. And then also enjoy the rest of your week. Enjoy your Wednesday, everybody. It's been a pleasure. For myself, Ben Boquist, for Dennis Sonar Green, out TCOB. We'll be TCOB tomorrow. And I hope you can join right here on WRMN 1410 Apolitical Talk Show. Bender Dental Care, located at 217 North